And back to Jeff Traylor Stadium here as your Gilmer Buckeyes prepare to play the #1 team in the state, defending state champion Carthage Bulldogs. And we're back here for our pregame show. And Jeff, we would not have a pregame show. We wouldn't have any of this if it weren't for our great sponsors.
That's right.
And especially we want to thank Gilmer Young being our keynote sponsor for the entire season. I tell you what, Brent and Marty do such a great job in supporting it. Also,
Former Buckeyes,
yeah. and they built such a great company in their law firm. And they're also supporters of not just our program, not just the athletic department, but also the band as well. You see their banner over there in front of the Buckeye band. And the band is so grateful for their help and their sponsorship. They provide all the third quarter meals. They did it again tonight. Just such a pillar in our community.
Yeah, the band loves them for it.
Yeah, hey, that's a lot of mouths to feed.
They've got a huge Marty and Brent banner, Gilmer and Young banner on the front of the band. I've never seen that before. But when you tell a band, hey, we're buying the Chick-fil-A and the popcorn and the pizza.
They'll hang your banner.
Yeah, they'll hang your banner. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it.
We appreciate it from Gilmer and Young. Thanks for
also,
supporting the kids.
Around hey, Jeff, they got your truck back here in the south end zone with Stanley Ford.
I think that's a different truck this week.
Well, I think you might have a collection of
I like
trucks
that
by
one
the
as
time
well,
the
yeah.
season's over.
Nice one.
Stanley Ford does such a great job supporting our athletic program. Along with Winningham Chevrolet, there's another beautiful black truck down there. You're a Ford guy, I'm a Chevy guy. Down there in the end zone, the winning ways of Winningham Chevrolet.
I don't think I would turn that truck down either.
I tell you what, either one of those, black and white, it's the right color, especially if you're a referee.
Yeah.
You just take your pick. But we want to thank all of our sponsors tonight. And Jeff, I think one thing that we want to discuss too is just everything from a community standpoint that goes into all the programs, especially in a COVID year. We talk about Winningham Chevrolet, we talk about Stanley Ford, and another kind of unsung hero on our team behind the scenes has a birthday today. So I want to say a special shout out to Rebel Jackson. Happy birthday to our little brother.
Rebel.
So Rebel is
great supporter of this program.
Absolutely does so much in terms of coaching 7-on-7, everything. I think he was Jeff Traylor in a former life. As Reb's always.
And a pretty good ball player himself.
Very much so.
Right here on this field.
Very much so. But happy birthday to you, Reb. And we are going to see him out here tonight. And I think all eyes in Gilmer will be glued, if they're not here, to the television sets all around. We were told tonight that all the TVs at La Finca have ball game on tonight.
Man, let me tell you something. You've made it when La Finca turns every TV in the building on to the Buckeye game. You are official. You have arrived, buddy. I'm going to tell you. So Mero came and told me tonight. He said he was watching the game. It was a nail biter. I was like, "How are you watching the game? You were at work, weren't you?" And he said, "Oh, we put them on in every TV here." So I'm like, "Okay."
Well, you can imagine, Jeff, what tonight would be like from an atmosphere standpoint if this were not a COVID year. We would probably have about 7,000 people here tonight watching this game live. And it's going to feel like that tonight. The electricity here, you can feel it. It's playoff type environment.
Yeah.
And once again, this may very much be a preview of the coming playoff, crescendo. This could be the state championship game here that we see right here in front of us. I don't think on both sides. So just before anybody checks me, whatever happens, it will be a totally different world in December than it is now.
Oh yeah,
that's the only
there's
thing
no
that
question.
you can say.
Yeah.
But for tonight, everything for both these programs builds to a head, and we're going to find
There's
out.
a lot more at stake here.
There is.
This is pride, man. This is like we said it a while ago in earlier when we were just talking before pregame. This isn't for any marbles. There's no marbles at stake.
No marbles on the table.
Sometimes we'll say this is for all the marbles. Guarantee you, week 10, you're going to hear me say this is for all the marbles because we're going to be playing Pleasant Grove in this very stadium for the district championship.
Right.
Tonight, no marbles on the board whatsoever. This is about pride. This is about there are two of the best football programs in 4A in Texas. I would
probably
dare say
on a per capita basis.
No question.
In the nation, you're not going to see.
It's going to be in the top for sure.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a big rivalry. There are 10 state championships in the last 16 years between these two teams.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable the amount of talent, the coaching pools that have come, that have come out of these two programs. And this isn't for any trophies this is just about, this is pride right here. This is about pride. This is about who's gonna go home miserable or not.
It's get down Beast Texas Friday night between the best of the best.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. And for these kids that are involved, they've had this circled since the season came out, literally 10 months ago. And everybody knew that it was going to be number 1 versus number 2, and we were going to find out who's who in the zoo, and that's what we're going to get to witness here tonight. I think both coaches, would play it down and say, hey, we want to get out of here healthy. And let me tell you,
no.
I mean, don't buy any of the coach speak.
No.
This is about Alan Metzel wanting to beat the tar out of Carthage, and Scott Surratt saying to Alan Metzel, no first-year coach is going to come beat me.
That's right.
And hey, it's going to be on. And I mean, it's going to be on at a volume and at an intensity level that you're only going to see again when we get into November and December. And this is as good as it gets, folks, for tonight in late September. Anywhere in the state, anywhere in the nation.
Oh, there's not a football game. I'm telling you right now, there's not a football game in the state of Texas that I would rather. There's not a football game in the nation being played this week that I'd rather be at than this one.
Right here.
This is
right
the hottest
now.
ticket in town. I'm telling you, the state of Texas. And I'll tell you where the hottest ticket is next week. Because we have a bye week next week. Hottest ticket next week?
Pleasant Grove.
Because Pleasant Grove is playing these guys. So you're talking about 2 weeks of great football. And Carthage is kind of, we talked about a while ago, they're 1-0. They've only played one football game this year because of, COVID and hurricane and all this other crazy circumstances. And the fact is, Carthage is coming out and it's like, welcome to football. Here's Gilmer and here's Pleasant Grove right off the bat. So they're going to get tested early and then kind of cruise probably the rest of the way through the district.
Until they get back to us on the playoffs.
That's exactly right.
And so now, just for you folks that are wondering, we're in the north region. Carthage is in the south region. Pleasant Grove is not only in our district, we'll see them week 10, but we could possibly see them 4 weeks later in the quarterfinals as we have for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And then we would see Carthage in the state championship game. That's the next.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Everybody play everybody.
This could be a glimpse of the state championship. It really could be.
Is.
Now, depending on where the cards fall.
Let me give a quick shout out tonight to a few folks that are listening. We want to say hi to Colonel Metzel. That is in Japan tonight, watching. It is tomorrow over there right now.
Miss Sharp out in California.
In California, in the People's Republic of California. We appreciate you being on a mission trip out there. We also
She sent me a text about you talking about California that way. It had some Bible verses in it, so I'll run it by you.
She's on a mission trip. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
She's a good Methodist, and she's on a mission trip, and we very much appreciate her being out there, being a missionary to the masses.
There's no question.
And
they need some missionaries out there.
And they all should stay.
Just kidding. We love our brothers and sisters in California.
Scout Team Players of the Week, Brandon Petway and Seth Jordan. Coach Metzel wanted us to make sure we shout out to them.
Yep.
Couldn't do it without those guys week after week in
very
practice.
Important.
And really just make a big difference. Jeff, as we start to get under 10 minutes here to play, let's talk about some numbers that, the only ones that matter are the ones on the scoreboard after this game. But coming into the game, you got some numbers.
Yeah, I'm going to rattle these off pretty fast so you can go back and listen to them and really observe them. First of all, the first number is 2, as in Division 2, because these guys are no longer Division 1. They're in our division. They're Division 2, and that's what you were talking about a while ago. We could see them again in the state championship, should we be so lucky to make it that far. The next one is the number 1. It's because they've only played one game this year. That could be a factor. Maybe not. Maybe they're rested. Maybe they're rusty. We don't know. It's one of those 2 R's. 14 is the next number I want to talk about. That's the number of seasons that Scott Surratt has been over here at Carthage and put up 7 state championships. Unbelievable record. He has one of the highest winning percentages in the state of Texas. We'll talk about that in a moment. Carthage, listen to this, has a 35-game regular winning streak. Their last loss was to Kilgore in 2016. I mean, unbelievable. October 2016. Carthage has a 17-game winning streak until tonight. The last time that they lost was to Liberty Hill back in 2018. Another number, Carthage is ranked 1st in Associated Press. Gilmer's ranked 4th in Associated Press. Carthage ranked 3rd in Pigskin Prep. We're ranked 4th in Pigskin Prep. That could certainly change tonight, depending on how the Buckeyes play up to Carthage. According to Pigskin Prep, Carthage is a 1-point favorite in tonight's game. They were a 3-point favorite. You normalize it by saying we have home field advantage. So we're at a 1-point disadvantage according to Pigskin Prep.
We shall see.
But listen to some of these Gilmer stats, okay? Gilmer's 206 points scored is the most in 4A Division II. And all of Texas, 206 points. Gilmer's 764 yards against Gladewater was a single-game school record. Gilmer's offense is putting up 567 yards per game. We're 40% passing attempts, 60% rushing attempts.
Perfect balance for Coach
Good
Metzel.
balance. Gilmer's offense is averaging, listen to this, if you know football, this will amaze you, 9.3 yards per play. Unbelievable numbers.
It's stupid.
Gilmer's offense has turned the ball over 9 times, but the defense has got it 11 times, so we're net positive 2. Gilmer's defense, how many sacks do you think we've had this season? 4 games.
Close to 20.
19. 19 sacks. Unbelievable. Gilmer's 697 wins. We're 3 away from the 700 mark in our all-time history, but we are tied for the 15th most in Texas high school football history.
Here's the crazy part, Jeff. 1,400 teams
In the state.
that play high school football, and we're in the top 15.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, now it gets better. Listen to this. Gilmer's 83 playoff wins are the 18th most in Texas high school history. 35 district championships we've won is the 14th most, and Gilmer's has recorded 15 undefeated seasons, which is tied for 9th best. So our point in these numbers are to let you know that you've got 2 very rich programs, rich in history. Gilmer has either won the state championship or lost to the eventual playoffs, to the eventual state championship 10 out of the last 19 years. And 3 more wins will be at the 700 mark. Carthage has only lost 3 games in the last 4 seasons. Unbelievable.
35-game regular season winning streak.
Unbelievable. Carthage and Gilmer have combined for 12 state championship game appearances and 10 state titles. So lots of stuff. Scott Surratt, 85% winning history. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, Jeff,
and listen to this. Gilmer's Brandon Tennyson, we talked about this last week, in 4 starts has resulted in 3. Listen to this. Tennyson's 4 starts have resulted in 3 Buckeyes top 14 single game total offensive performances in history, and 2 of those are in the top 10.
Yeah, it's a good start.
It's amazing.
It's a good start.
It's a great start.
It makes all the difference in what you're seeing here at Coach Metzel putting together and really getting this program back to where they want to be, which is playing the number 1 team in the state. And so far, what we've seen from the Buckeyes has been amazing. We just haven't seen it 4 quarters all put together in one package, and it's time to do that. So,
okay,
Jeff,
well, we're going to pause now. We're going to kick it down to the field, and the ROTC is going to present the colors at this time, and we are going to salute our flag.
Now under the direction of Mr. Eric Gray, the Gilmer High School Buckeye Band with the national anthem.
right, Jeff, back to the action here at Jeff Traylor Stadium as we get ready for the captains to come out COVID style. Our captain tonight looks like that's going to be number 5, Jet Jones, and he will undoubtedly be under the instruction of Coach Metzel saying, "Get me the football." And
Yeah, no question.
It's so critical, Jeff, because obviously against Lindale, Kai Horton, the big quarterback, number 12, is going to come out for the Carthage Bulldogs. And Jeff, the strategy from Coach Metzel has never really changed. Coach Metzel wants the ball. He wants to get out ahead. He wants to establish tempo. And really he wants to get out to an early advantage. That happened last week against Lindale, 8-0, literally within 2 minutes, and then the wheels came off for the Buckeyes. And I think that's something that we're going to want to see tonight is very simple. Can the Buckeyes get consistency in terms of their play? Are they going to be able to not only go get an early advantage, but just play up to their potential for 48 straight minutes and not have any lulls? I think keys to the game, Jeff, are really simple, just like they are in any big championship game. Number 1 is turnovers. Every single turnover, and a stop on third down is a turnover. A fumble is a turnover. As we see that Carthage has evidently won the toss, and they are receiving. So it'll be the black flag defense for the first time in a while that goes out first tonight for the Buckeyes, Jeff. But turnovers, where they are on third downs, and watch for Carthage on first down. They're going to try to play slow. They're going to try to hold this to about an 80 play game, and if they can do that, it works to their favor. Not in game shape for the Buckeyes. It's the opposite. They want to play fast. They want to play aggressive. They want to put Carthage in a hole early and make them chase the Buckeyes. They don't have quite the offensive weapons that they've had in years
No, they
past.
really don't. They're big.
They just don't have the stuff.
You're going to see the biggest offensive line we've seen this year for sure. And that's saying something considering we came out of Henderson and Lindale, some of these big guys. But they do have a very big front 5, and they've got some size. They've always have speed, and here's the thing, Todd, they're just well coached. Scott Surratt is just one of the best coaches. He's got the winning percentages in the rings to prove it. And so you're looking at a really good, aggressive football game. It's like you said, you don't have room for mistakes in this game, period. There is no crawling back into a game that you get out of. You go down below 3 scores like we found ourselves going into halftime last week, and I don't know how in the world you could ever expect to recover against this football team. So Buckeyes are going to have to play aggressive and see what they're going to do. I promise you, Alan Metzel is going to play very aggressive tonight. I wouldn't even be shocked if he kicked an onside kick here. He probably won't, but here's a high pooch kick. It's going to be fielded on the 29-yard line, and he's going to be immediately struck, and the Buckeyes are coming to show that they're going to put the helmet on the ball tonight.
Well, that's a good tackle. He does not take a fair catch. That's number 1, the little speedster for the Carthage Bulldogs. And Kai Horton and the defending state champions are now going to come on the field against this black flag defense, Jeff. And they have not seen the kind of pressure. Look at that offensive line. That is a wall of white there. Not a single guy under 260 pounds. And that is just a whole bunch of beef up front.
That is, I mean, if you look at that, buddy, I'm talking about that is a big bunch of boys right up front. So let's see what they can do. They want to control the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. And let's watch for mental toughness. They've only played 1 game. Are they going to make a lot of mistakes tonight? See, right off the bat, we got a flag. Now, we can jump off sides and come back. This is going to be an interesting call, but the center stood up. So remember a while ago, keys to the game we were talking, and I said these guys have only played 1 game. I wonder if they can keep it under 5 false starts in this game. And so they're going to say that this one is going to be offsides against the Buckeyes. So first mental mistake is going to be the Buckeyes as Carthage goes with a long snap count trying to draw them off.
Well, Jeff, that's a huge play early in this game because 1st and 5 is so much different than 1st and 10. And if the Carthage Bulldogs can pick up a quick first down, look for him to take a shot here and try to test this secondary early. Kyle Horton's got a big arm. And it looks like they've already got 3 receivers out there to the wide. They go empty here. They're going to throw the football right here.
All right. They put a man coming to the backfield, so they have 1 back in the backfield now. Quarterback's in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off around the right side. Big hole and a big first down on a 9-yard run.
Yeah, they just go empty. They have 6 guys in the box. They're just going to count the number of guys in the box, bring number 2 back in, and you can see the space that big offensive line can create. And for now, the Buckeyes pretty much start off. You can just imagine they return the ball out to the 48-yard line. It's 1st and 10 all over again.
All right, 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. You got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's the quarterback. Now, this is going to be false start. So this is, again, what we were talking about a while ago, mental toughness. So the 5 yards that we gave up earlier, we're going to get back now. So we're back to 0 on the yardage gained or lost by penalty. So this is going to be first instead of 1st and 5, now 1st and 15.
Yeah, big opportunity for the Buckeyes because we want to keep them behind the chains, and we also want to get in their backfield. And so far, we haven't been able to do that. Let's see if this isn't a short passing down, especially out there to the wide side of the field with Kyle Horton.
All right, got a man in the slot and a man in the backfield. 2 receivers stacked to the right. Dropping back, looking to pass. Got an arm on him, and he does meet with number 4, and you're going to hear his name a lot tonight. That is a sophomore and his favorite target. And I've been watching that young man since the 5th grade plays. He plays against my son, and that is Montrell. He came from Spring Hill and went over to Carthage, and he is really going to be a factor here tonight.
Yeah, 2nd and short now for the Carthage Bulldogs. They pick up 10 on that little out route play, and you notice they take their time. Kyle Horton reads the defense, and they try to get into plays here. This is where they want to be. And we've got a stoppage in play again as we've got a flag down in the secondary, and we will see what this flag is.
Okay, Carthage coach doesn't look happy, so I'm thinking it's something. They're going to wave it off.
That was a play clock violation, but it did not reset. So that's going to give Carthage once more an opportunity inside Buckeye territory now, 2nd down and short. And it's imperative, Jeff, that this Buckeye defense start getting penetration and get some pressure on Kyle Horton. He had all the time in the world to throw in that last play.
All right, they're shifting the offense around. Quarterback's going under center this time. Buckeyes are coming. And they blow another big hole and a big 1st down there on about a 7-yard run. And I'm telling you, this big beef package they've got up front blew holes. In the JV game last night, they had the same type of thing. Big offensive line worked and did control the offensive line. Luckily, Buckeyes tied 22-22 last night. But that was a factor. They were blowing big holes all night. That's how they're trained.
Well, the Buckeyes have gotten penetration in every game so far this year. And so far, Jeff, that hadn't been the case. Carthage 2 1st downs to open this drive. Very methodical on offense.
All right, quarterback goes back in the shotgun. Man in motion. Here's the snap. Drops back. Got time. Now pressured. Burton coming at him. Fires one on the out route. And the receiver unable to pull it in. That's going to fall incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10 from the Buckeye 38.
Yeah, Matt Burton almost making that play, but certainly impacting that throw. Kyle Horton rolling out to his left, throwing with his right hand. It's a really tough throw. Pretty accurate on his part, but so far that was good pressure by the Buckeyes. Matt Burton, who's had so many sacks this year. We don't see Bryson Jimerson out there at this point with him, but that makes a huge difference when those two can get after the quarterback.
All right, going with a tighter package. Quarterback's going under center. They got one wide out to the left. Handoff up the middle. He finds a hole and breaks out to the left side and gets a big 1st down.
Yeah, Jeff, that's something that they're going to do almost every time when the Buckeyes bail out and try to drop men into coverage. They're just going to take advantage with that running back number 2, and that's what he does. He just runs up there and finds open field. Now, you notice he doesn't have the breakaway capability that we saw last week in Lindale. But you also are dealing with an entirely different unit from an offensive line standpoint.
Yeah, luckily Cody Guidry steps up and makes the tackle there for the Buckeyes. 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. Number 2, the tailback, and from the shotgun. Pulls up, quick pass, and nailed instantly as he catches the ball, but does move the ball forward 5 yards. So that was, although it was a good hit, they still pick up 5, going to be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, knocking on the door of the red zone now, and you notice just how well coached they really are. And they're huge offensive line. Kyle Horton, the big quarterback back there in the backfield. We're 3 minutes into this game, Jeff, as methodical as they can possibly be. They're counting men in the box, they're blocking everything up, and they're averaging about 5 yards a play right now. Just exactly what we would expect from Carthage.
You notice the poise from the quarterback in the backfield. Doesn't get in a hurry. He's got a lot of faith in that offensive line. Cuts back. Going to be good for a couple. That's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
Third down opportunity for the Buckeyes here. If they can get pressure, Jeff, and find a way to get a negative play, it is a huge stop potentially because Scott Surratt will kick the football. They've got a great kicking program over there in Carthage. They've always had a good kicker. And it'll put them in a tough situation. This is a place right now where the Buckeyes got to get penetration, and they got to cover because they'll run to the sticks and basically turn around to try to pick up the first down.
All right, from the shotgun, they're going to send the back in motion to the left side. Looking to go downfield, got a man wide open in the flat. He's making good progress inside the 5. Going to get down to the 4. That is a big gain, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that's just Kyle Horton sitting there reading. And again, Jeff, the inability of the Buckeyes to get pressure on him and allow him to just sit there and pick that little zone read apart. That was pretty easy pitch and catch so far. Every pass that he has had has been a short pass, and they'll take that as long as you give it to him. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
Well, we saw that a lot last week as well. You know, just the little short passes here and there are very effective if you're working your way down the field. Handoff number 2 runs into some traffic, and the Buckeyes are going to stop him back at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a
That'll bring up 2nd and goal.
That's number 10, Luke Watson in on that tackle. And right now, Jeff, the Buckeyes need to figure out how to knock that football loose. You know, putting the helmet on the football, a big turnover right here would completely change everything. So far, folks, 7:15 left as Carthage has managed to eat nearly a half a quarter on one drive. Methodical. That's just the word that you're going to see. 2nd down and goal from the, let's call it the 3.5. And the Buckeyes needing to have a big stand right here from the black flag.
All right, quarterback goes under center. They're not afraid to run quarterback sneaks, by the way, behind that big line. They did it several times last night. Number 2 scampers into the end zone for the first score of the night. And 6:49 left to play in the first quarter. And Carthage is going to strike first.
Well, they marched right down the field, Jeff. 5 minutes and 11 seconds is what it took them on that scoring drive, which was right at 69 yards. Just dink and dunk right down the field, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, counting men in the box and just kind of doing what Carthage does. They take the early lead here 6-0 with the extra point left to come.
High snap, and that kick is going to be up and through the uprights. And so, folks, Carthage is struck first, ate up a little bit of time off the clock, and it is 7-0. And the Buckeye offense ready to take the field. We'll be right back after these messages.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
That scoring drive, Jeff, took 5 minutes and 11 seconds as the Carthage Bulldogs just methodically go down the field and score on that running play. Once again, we want to thank our keynote sponsor for tonight, Godarzi & Young, and our friends over at Winningham Chevrolet and their winning ways, and at Stanley Ford for the beautiful cars and trucks they have around the stadium tonight. And now it's the Buckeyes' turn as Carthage does what they wanted to do. They won the toss. They marched down the field, take 5 minutes and change off the clock, and now they're going to kick it off to the Buckeyes.
It is a very short pooch kick, fair catch, called over on the 33-yard line. And who is that? That was Mason Hurt? And Mason's had an outstanding year this year, so if they're going to kick it to somebody, I'm happy for them to kick him to him all night. So Buckeyes are going to take over great field position, 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. So let's see what the offense can do here against this Bulldog
Young defense, Jeff. Only 2 starters come back on the defensive side of the ball for Carthage. We have offsides against Carthage on the kickoff, which is going to move the Buckeyes all the way up now to their own 39-yard line. So great starting field position, and let's see what BT and the Buckeyes can do now to come back and answer as they're going to move them back now. That was an 8-yard penalty, so they're going to pull them back to the 36. And once again, Jeff, 4-3 scheme for these Carthage Bulldogs, nothing new, but a lot of younger guys, so not a lot of experience on the defensive side.
All right, one back in the backfield. Smith picks up a good block, and That is intended for Jaden Griffin, and he just literally falls down as the ball is on the way over to him. I think he could have easily caught that.
He just fell
but
down.
He just fell down, yeah.
As Jaden had his feet go out from under him, brings up 2nd down and 10. Now the Buckeyes behind the chain from their own 36, and going to be looking for an opportunity here to get this into a 3rd and manageable situation.
Tennyson in the shotgun. He's going to quick pitch out to Smith. Heavy pursuit around the right side, and that's what Carthage does well. Did you see how well number 1 there from Carthage just ran him all the way to the sideline, and you just run out of real estate, and then they've got you.
Yeah, and they're fast, and they've watched a lot of film, so obviously Coach Metzel right now, halfway through this first quarter, just now getting into his script of plays. The first 2 are in. Now we got a 3rd and 11, and the Buckeyes are going to need to go to the air here and convert. Look for them to try to get pressure on Brandon Tennyson right here.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tennyson drops back, pump fakes, drops one over the middle, almost picked off. Lucky there for the Buckeyes as that was thrown a little bit low and a little bit behind, so that's going to bring up 4th and 11. Not the start the Buckeyes were looking for.
Yeah, number 51 was absolutely in Brandon Tennyson's lap, so he couldn't step up and make that throw. And right now, Jeff, the Buckeyes are in the position where they're going to have to start making something happen. You get the ball back to that machine of an offense that Carthage demonstrated in that first drive, where they just dinked and dunked their way. Half of the first quarter already gone. The Buckeyes have only had 3 opportunities from the line of scrimmage, 2 incomplete passes and a tackle for a loss, not to start the Buckeyes want.
All right, Cody Guidry back deep to punt for the Buckeyes, and he gets off a nice one over to the left side, takes a huge Buckeye bounce. He has done a great job in that position all year this year, and that is going to put the ball down around the 28-yard line, 29-yard line of Carthage. So that's a great punt, flips the field, and now Carthage offense will make their way back on the field and see if they can march down the field and score again on this Buckeye defense.
Yeah, the only difference is now, Jeff, they're 71 yards away, 2 yards further out than they were before, which really didn't matter. They just took their time, counted guys in the box, and the Buckeye defense is going to now have to kind of force the issue. Really need a turnover or definitively a stop, because the way to keep the Buckeyes off the scoreboard is to keep the offense off the field. Halfway through this first quarter, Jeff, the Buckeyes have snapped the ball 3 times.
All right, from under center, here's the quarterback. Drops back, fires one. He goes for a bullet down the sideline, and it is caught. What an incredible over-the-shoulder catch. Reeled in there by number 10 for Carthage, and that was a good enough catch to call his name. That was Craig McNew. He's a senior, and what a great catch by the Bulldogs. And they flipped the field basically right back to nearly where the Buckeyes were as we punted.
Yeah, that was against Jaden Griffin. Jaden is running stride for stride.
No,
with him.
he was there.
Yeah, that was just a perfectly positioned ball to the outside shoulder. You can't really throw it any better, but look for him to kind of try to pound the football here now, Jeff, that they've taken their shot deep.
Man in motion. Quarterback once again under center. Quick pitch, number 2, cuts back to the left side. And he's going to be swarmed by Buckeyes, but fights forward and picks up an extra 4 from where he should have been. That's just a good, tough run.
Yeah, he takes the cutback lane. The Buckeyes cut him off to the strong side, but he bounces it back to the outside. And number 6, Marche Spraglin there has got to be the guy that is home. And he winds up making that tackle, but they wind up getting another 6 yards afterwards. 2nd down and 2, deep in Buckeye territory with a 7-0 lead. This is exactly where Carthage wanted to be to start this game.
All right, here comes the quarterback back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to go back under center again, send 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. They're going to hand off to 2 again, right side. Got a hole, and he is a good, hard-running young man. Picks up the first down, and so again, Carthage eating time off the clock early in the game.
Inside the red zone once again, Jeff, down to the 16-yard line, and they're just running at will behind that big offensive line.
I'm going to tell you something. That's a big offensive line.
They're massive.
We're gonna look at these guys. I mean, take a look at these guys. I mean, they are massive.
Yeah, they're very large and executing very well.
All right, back under center. Going to have a double backfield. It's an old power eye look, and he trips up on the grass before he even gets there. So he is actually going to fall right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Buckeyes need a break here, Jeff. The entire first quarter has streaked by, and it has been all Carthage. They win the toss, they march down the field, eat 5 minutes and 11 seconds off. The Buckeyes come out and have literally a 10-second possession with 2 incomplete passes. 3 plays is all they've run, and they need a chance to get the ball back.
All right, so let's see what Carthage does here. Buckeyes are showing that they're going to blitz. We've got a penalty flag down, and that's probably going to be illegal procedure against Carthage.
Yeah, that is procedure
Second
against
one of the
Carthage.
game.
They're going to back up and bring a 2nd and 15. And now, Jeff, is when those front linemen for the Buckeyes, led by big number 44, Matt Burton, we got to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback, Kai Horton, and potentially get them into a 3rd down and very long scenario. As this is a critical play in the game where Carthage has already gone up 7, and now they're driving again. Here's an opportunity to get them into a 3rd and long.
3:33 left to play in the first quarter. Carthage goes back under center behind that big offensive line. Let's see if the Buckeyes can get some penetration here. Heavy pressure from the backside, and it is a well-thrown ball, and that'll be another touchdown for Carthage.
And they went right to the empty spot off the play action, exactly what the Buckeyes have seen on film. And that's just, you can't throw it any better than that. He hit him in a dead stride. And Carthage showing that if it's 1-0 for them in terms of their games played, they've been practicing really hard because you can't execute offensively any better.
Well, the quarterback is just so poised in the pocket. He steps back behind that big line, got a lot of time, and he just sits back there very comfortably as the kick is up and good. And is just delivering passes left and right. His passing percentage so far tonight is pretty darn good.
Yeah, well, he's had one incompletion where he got some pressure. But right now, the Buckeyes have to enforce their will here. Did they say that kick was no good, Jeff?
Yeah, it was good.
So
they just haven't put the points on the
14-0
board.
is the score. We'll recognize a few of our sponsors and come back right after this.
A reminder, when you go to the concession stand,
Hey, East Texas. Matt Darby here, and I serve as one of the pastors at New Beginnings Baptist Church in Gilmer and in Longview. Let me ask you a question. Are you looking for hope in your life right now? We believe that the answer is Jesus Christ, and every Sunday we fix our eyes on Him and we worship Jesus together. I want to invite you to one of our worship services at 8, 9:30, and 11 in Gilmer and in Longview. We'll see you there.
Jeff, we're back to the action here as Carthage takes a 14-0 lead as they've literally had the ball all but 3 plays here in this first quarter. 3:14 left in the first quarter. Now the Buckeyes in a must-answer situation here offensively as we'll see what happens after this kickoff.
All right, lining up for the kickoff, and they're going to do it again. A high pooch kick, fair catch on the 33-yard line over there to Mason Hurt once again. So here comes the offensive unit of the Buckeyes back on the field. Again, 3 and out earlier, and we'll see if we can't get the ball moving down the field, get a little rhythm. Remember, it's a lot about momentum. Right now, momentum obviously on the Bulldogs' favor.
Since the coin toss. Yeah.
But we've seen that happen a couple of times with the Buckeyes this year. But they've rallied and made some great comebacks. So let's see if we can do it again. Down 14 with 3:14 left to play in the first quarter. Brandon Tennyson on the keeper around the right side. Heavy pursuit. Finds a little seam and picks up about 3 yards on the carry. Bring up 2nd and 7.
Let's call that
That's 4 yards.
4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Once again, still in the scripted play. That's the first positive play that the Buckeyes have had all night. On that little sweep play, Brandon Tennyson using his wheels. Buckeyes got to get it going here, Jeff. It's just that simple.
2 receivers right, 2 left, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Tennyson drops back. Fires one, got a man open, takes a heavy shot in the back, but he's able to hang on to it. That's Mason Hurt.
Yeah, that's the heart and soul of the Buckeyes right there, Jeff. Number 12, Mason Hurt, just putting his body on the line with a huge catch over the middle, and the Buckeyes now in 2 short plays looking to get into Carthage territory and looking to get this offense clicking.
Well, Mason comes into this game with 12 receptions for 280 yards, and he's adding to his numbers. A little short pass out to the right side, and we're going to pick up another first down. Great little
And that's
Jaden Griffin
on the
out there,
screen
number
pass.
2.
Yeah, and number 12, once again, Mason Hurd doing a great job blocking that up. And now the Buckeyes inside the 40-yard line and with a little rhythm. That was also a great throw, well-timed there. 2 men in Brandon Tennyson's face, but the offense starting to go to the air here effectively for the Buckeyes.
All right, testing that secondary of the Bulldogs. Smith comes back in the backfield. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff. Over the top, complete to Dylan Fluellen. Dylan staying on his feet, picks up about 7. Fumble on the play, but I think they're going to call him down. And so that's going to move the chain 7 forward. That'll bring up second. They're going to give him that's going to be a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
Buckeyes got it rolling now with 1:55 left here to the first quarter.
Brandon Tennyson rolling to his right. Fires
What a
one
throw.
downfield, and what a throw.
Number 17,
That
that's
is
Rowan
Rowan
Fluellen.
Fluellen.
And you cannot throw it any better than BT just delivered it on the run. He's worked on that all week. What touch as the sophomore gets the Buckeyes into the red zone, knocking on the door here, trying to answer in this 14-point deficit.
All right. They're going to run a reverse, and guess what? That was intended to be a pitch pass as they pitched that over. We saw that in the very first game against Gladewater. They pitched it back to actually Rowan Fluellen. I thought that was Mason there for a second. That was number 17, Rowan Fluellen. He pulls up and intended to pass and had to tuck it pretty quick.
Yeah, he
and,
may
took a loss.
He may should have just thrown that in the direction of the Dairy Queen down there and not taken the loss. But as a young sophomore, that's okay. He didn't turn the ball over and but puts the Buckeyes in a hole.
2nd and 16. Handoff to Smith, tackled from behind as number 5 comes around from the defensive end position and just does a great job of hustling and getting to him. That play never had a chance to develop.
Yeah, he's just a blitzing linebacker that goes unblocked, and he comes in and makes that play. Probably 4-down territory here, Jeff, for the Buckeyes, but this is a huge play on 3rd down. Look for number 14 here, as the go-to guy has been Dylan Fluellen. He matches up best against these Bulldogs, but right now it's going to be all on BT's arm here to try to pick this one up. The Buckeyes need the 10-yard line for a 1st down.
All right, BT heavy pressure, gets one off. That's going to fall incomplete. Puts the Buckeyes in an awkward situation. It's a little bit far to try for a field goal because the ball's spotted on the 27-yard line. It's 4th down, certainly 4-down territory. So let's see if the Buckeyes can convert here. 4th and 16.
Yeah, this would be almost a 50-yard field goal attempt, so no sense of doing that as the Buckeyes are going to try to pull something out of the kitchen sink here. 30 seconds left in this first quarter, and the play of the night so far for the Buckeyes if they can pull this off.
One back in the backfield. Tennyson drops back. Forced out of the pocket. Tucks the ball. Looking at the marker, not going to get there.
He got close, and he sure ate up a lot of yardage down there, but Jeff, they're going to turn it over on downs, and the Bulldogs are going to avoid a bullet. That's a turnover, Jeff. That's one of the turnovers that we talk about is we turn it over deep in their own territory, and instead of being able to answer down 14, this gives the Carthage Bulldogs an opportunity to drive back down the field and really put the Buckeyes in another early first half hole. And although that drive looked really good, it's that trick play that didn't work that put the Buckeyes in a hole. And this is just the stuff you got to execute when you're playing a caliber team like Carthage. They're championship caliber team, and they've dodged the bullet here. And let's see if they can now go down and do what defending state champions do, and go capitalize. It's up to the Buckeyes to stop them.
All right, Carthage's offense back on the field, handoff around the right side. Not a lot of room to run there. Maybe a yard gain. We're going to call that 2nd and 9. Good job there by the Black Flag defense stepping up.
And Jeff, it's hard for us to remember what playoff football really looks like. It looks like this. The Carthage Bulldogs come in here at 1-0 and strike me as they're playing playoff caliber football already. Mentally, I mean, you've seen a couple of mistakes. They're going to end the first quarter, a couple of offsides type penalties, but execution-wise, they haven't missed a beat. When you play this much football and you get to spend this much time being coached up in all those playoff games and everything else, this is the type of machine that you develop that Scott Surratt really has here. So let's recognize a few of our sponsors and come back and see if the second quarter goes any better for the Buckeyes.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back to the action after the first quarter. The Buckeyes down 14-0 to the defending state champions, Jeff, who have come out and played like the defending state champions. The impressive part is just how disciplined, poised, and methodical they've been, especially on the offensive side. Now a big 2nd down and 9 from inside their own 20 at the Carthage 14-yard line. Going to be up to this black flag defense to make a stand here, Jeff, and pin these Carthage Bulldogs deep in a 3rd down situation.
You know, one of the things that's remarkable, you watch this the poise of this quarterback for Carthage, just smooth, handoff, left side, going to be good for about 10 yards, enough for a 1st down for sure.
Yeah, it's just downhill running behind a huge offensive line. Nothing fancy. He just basically explodes through the hole, takes what the defense gives him. They open a big hole right there, and he's to the 2nd level and moves the chains. And that's just, you know, this methodical approach for Carthage. The Buckeyes have to find a way to force the issue, put a helmet on a football or something, because Carthage isn't going to beat themselves.
All right, from the shotgun. Long snap count. Drops back, looking to his left side, dumps one, and it is caught for a 12-yard reception, and that again will move the chains.
Yeah,
11-16 left to play in the 2nd.
That's just back shoulder to the back out of the backfield, and he's man-to-man coverage out there. And I think that was Marche Spraglin, that was one of the linebackers that was there, but just didn't turn around to make the play. And Kai Horton, the quarterback, just puts it on his back shoulder. He turns around, there's the ball, another 1st down for Carthage.
All right, Horton goes under center, handoff to the back, scampers forward, and he's going to be good for at least 9, and that's his 2nd run for 9 in this series. And he's just a good, hard running back. I mean, if you're running behind 300-pound linemen, it's a lot easier. But he is a good running back. He's got some wheels.
He's got good vision. He's got decent speed. He's not the same running back that we saw last week from Lindell by any means. But if the Lindell running back was running behind this line, Jeff, last week may have been a different story. Is the black flag's got to find a way here to force the issue, and it all starts with getting penetration. And so far, there's been no pressure tonight from the Buckeye front 4.
2nd and 1. This time, a handoff to number 8, who scampers forward for about 5-yard gain and a 1st down. Across midfield into Buckeye territory, they're going to set up camp at the 49, 1st and 10 from the 49.
And Jeff, remember, this started back on the 14-yard line. And once again, here comes Carthage methodically dinking and dunking down the field, eating as much clock as they possibly can. The problem with the Buckeyes right now is the offense is over here on the sideline. They've only really had one possession tonight that's done anything. That stalls out on the 4th down deep in Carthage territory, and they march right back.
Trip receivers to the left. Horton handoff, fakes the handoff, dumps one to a wide open receiver who is just juking and jiving and picks up 10 yards. Now they're saying, did he hit the ground or not? He's saying he thinks that he sat on one of the defenders.
No, the whistle
and
blew.
His knee never went down. But if the refs blew that dead, they're going to call it back.
Yeah, they blew the whistle.
I'll tell you what, he's got some wheels on him too.
Yeah, and it's just a great fake there as he goes down, and they're going to bring this one back. But Jeff, that whole approach was very simple.
They just did
they
a
just
great
run linebacker.
Yeah.
And then the quarterback is a run-pass option, pulls it, throws it to a wide-open number 10 that's about 5 yards down the field. They're definitely going to move the chains here on a 1st down. And now the referee's going to make an announcement. So they're going to call that an inadvertent whistle. which gives Carthage the option to take that spot. So now inside the 40-yard line, 9:22 left to play in this half. The Buckeyes have been fighting an uphill battle since the coin flip and continue to do that here in the second quarter.
Quick pitch back to number 2. Up the middle, doing what he does best, and he's going to be good for another 8 or 9 yards. He has got probably 7 yards per carry tonight against the Buckeyes, behind this big offensive line. He picks up another 9. That's the third time this series he's run 9 yards.
And Jeff, probably 7 of those yards he runs before a black uniform even comes into the picture, as he is just running behind big open gashes that offensive line for Carthage is opening up.
Quarterback goes under center. Motion. Rolls to his right side. Looking for a man. Got one open. He's going to catch it and will score. And that's just perfectly executed offensive plays. I mean, these guys are like surgeons tonight. They are just running great routes. Their quarterback is very poised and puts the ball on the money. I mean, he is putting on a clinic here tonight.
That's just play action. Nobody picks up the tight end. And as we said at the top of the show, Jeff, the Buckeyes can't make mental mistakes because this team will capitalize. That's a perfect example right there. As we have blown coverage, nobody covers the tight end. Kyle Orton waits for him to clear as the extra point is up and good. And the Buckeyes, with 8:24 left to play here in this first half, Jeff, once again find themselves in a 21-point hole. But this time it's to the defending state champion, Jeff, and something's got to give right here if the Buckeyes want to have any shot here.
Definitely, we know anything can happen. So we've been a great second half team. If the Buckeyes can get in here and score soon, we'll be right back after these messages.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Goddard & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Goddard & Young.
Back to the action here, folks. 8:24 left to play here in this first half, and it has been all Carthage Bulldogs as nothing fancy, just methodical down the field, as disciplined and well executed as you could possibly expect. It's hard to imagine this team, Jeff, has only played one game this season as sharp as they've been offensively.
Yeah, they precision is the word you use. They have just executed a passing game extremely well and a good run game. Now we're going to get a return this time around the right side, high pooch kick. And so here comes the offensive unit again, and the Buckeyes obviously want to get it some points on the board. They've had 3 series and no points so far, so they're looking to try to get some points on the board. They were moving the ball quite well down the field and had a lot of momentum earlier in the last series, and then just kind of the air just got let out of the sails. So we'll see what they can do this time. The ball spotted on the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. And he was under some heavy pressure there, had to throw that one away.
Yeah, blitz, and nobody was home on the route there, as that was a blitz from the corner. And I think Ro Fluellen didn't read the same thing that Brandon Tennyson read. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now, as this Buckeye offense have just got to get something going here to answer 21-0, the score with 8:15 left to play in this first half.
Here's the snap. Picks it up. Fires one complete, and that's going to be good for about an 8 or 9 yard gain.
That's Mason Hurt on a big catch and picks up a couple of yards to bring up 3rd down and manageable. This is probably 4-down territory any way that you go here, Jeff, because the Buckeyes have got to find a way to keep the football. They've only run pretty much 12 plays all 9 in the first half.
7:53 left to play in the first half. They want to get on the scoreboard for sure, so they're going to play aggressive, and that is flags flying. That's going to be a illegal procedure call against the Buckeyes. Back them up 5. So instead of 3rd and 1, we're looking at 3rd and 6.
Yeah, just a complete game changer, Jeff, as you talk about. That's just the things that if you want to play this caliber of kind of playoff football, which that's obviously the level that Carthage is executing on. They look like they could be 4 weeks into the playoffs at this point, just so finely tuned. And the Buckeyes are going to, looks like, are they taking a timeout? No, they're gonna say 3rd down and 6 now. The Buckeyes need their own 48 for a first down.
All right, let's see what they've got up their sleeve. Here's the snap. Tennyson rolling to his right under some pressure. Goes to number 14, Fluellen. He's able to reel it in, and he's going to be maybe just a hair short.
A half yard short is what
they're going to
right
move.
They're going to
move the sticks. Man, Buckeyes lucky break on the spot.
We'll take it.
Seems like we never get that break.
Yeah, we'll take it at this point. Great catch by Dylan Fluellen. Great throw by Brandon Tennyson. And the Buckeyes have got to cash this in and find a way to get some points. 7 minutes left to play in this first half. The Buckeyes mount really on their second drive of the game.
All right, here's the snap. Tennyson looking. Everybody going deep. Launches one down the sideline. What a catch. Dylan Fluellen reels one in. And the good news is, last week, Dylan Fluellen had 3 touchdowns in this north corner and the northwest corner, and we're down here in striking distance of hitting his favorite corner once again. What a great catch there by Dylan Fluellen.
They empty the box. Let's see if they go to big number 24 Choice on this play, Jeff.
All right, low snap, hand off to Choice, and he's hit immediately, and it'll be dropped for a loss of 3.
As that linebacker number 5, Jeff, just has a knack for reading that play. That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 12, and this is exactly, Jeff, on the other end at the end of the first quarter where the Buckeye drive stalled on a 2nd down. Let's see if they can find a way to convert and keep it going here.
All right, we got a timeout on Carthage, and we're going to take a timeout in the booth. We'll be back in a minute. Extra, extra. Read all about tonight's game in Thursday's Gilmer Mirror, complete with pictures, coaches' comments, and a look at next week's opponent. The Gilmer Mirror has been serving the citizens of Upshur County since 1877. You know, reading the news online is fine, but there is nothing like physically picking up your hometown paper, turning the pages, and catching up on everything going on in our area. If you're not subscribing to the Gilmer Mirror, you're probably missing out. It's one of my favorite publications, and I know you'll love it too. The Gilmer Mirror, www.gilmermirror.com. All right, folks, back to the action here in Jeff Traylor Stadium. The Buckeyes, with 6:10 left to play in the first half, are down to the Carthage Bulldogs 21-0, but they do have the ball and are marching down the field. Ball currently spotted on the 24-yard line, and Buckeyes are looking at 2nd and 12.
Yeah, and obviously that front 6, especially that outside linebacker number 5, is reading keys so well, and just really almost a one-man wrecking crew.
Keeper, and Tennyson gets just to the 20-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of about 5 yards, bring up 3rd and 8. 4-down
territory, Jeff, no question about it here. As Coach Metzel's got 2 plays to work with, but imperative that the Buckeyes move the chains here.
Well, you can already see secondary pointing to that corner where Dylan Fluellen, did you see that?
Yeah.
Number 1's pointing to that corner. And he's like, hey, I know where this is going.
They're double covering him.
And they watched film. They saw 3 scores in that northwest corner last week. Tennyson under pressure, forced out of the pocket. And he gets over to maybe the 18-yard line for a couple of yard gain. Going to bring up a critical 4th down for the Buckeyes, 4th and 7.
That's one, Jeff, where BT pulls it down and runs, and probably should stay with the play on that one to see if it can develop. But now, once again, a critical 4th down play. This is the same way that the last drive stalled, and the Buckeyes have got to find a way to get points on the board here, and that's going to mean moving the chains first and foremost.
Well, this will be an interesting call here. We're certainly in striking distance of the end zone. Fumble on the play. BT picks it up, fires one, and it's going to fall incomplete. And once again, Buckeyes have to turn over on downs with 4:47 left to play in the second quarter. So that's a backbreaker because you get a fumble at exactly when you didn't need one.
Yeah, and this is just one of those things, Jeff, where against a championship caliber team, those little mistakes mean everything. You know, you don't convert on the 4th down previously on the previous drive. Carthage marches down and scores. Right now the defense has got to not only stand up, but in 4:47 has got to get the ball back to the offense. Otherwise, you could stand going down 4 scores to the defending state champions, who have basically played a perfect first half here, and you just can't do that. Carthage is going to eat as much clock as they can, and it's going to be up to the Buckeyes here to try to get a turnover. As you know, execution is just what it comes down to.
Quarterback goes under center, one receiver left and right. Fakes the handoff, pulls up, fly route down the sideline. Interception.
Oh, my goodness.
What a great job there by number 6, Marche.
But they've thrown a flag, Jeff. There's a flag down.
There's a flag, so that's going to they're going to say he pushed off, and that'll be possibly pass interference. You know, the flag is thrown way back here on the 42.
That's about as well as you can play it, but unfortunately that turnover is going to come back. And once again, just a mistake there that is going to get caught, and that's going to move Carthage 15 yards up, and it's going to take the ball away from the Buckeyes, who just got the turnover that they needed. And that was well played by Spraglin. I mean, that's kind of a ticky-tack kind of a call. But that's going to give Carthage a first down, and that is going to keep the ball in the possession of the Carthage Bulldogs with now 4:34 left, and they're going to take their sweet time, Jeff, as they try to march down the field. Took a shot there, and well played by Spraglin, but the officials jump in there and call a pass interference and give the Buckeyes, or take away that turnover.
Long snap count by Horton, handoff to the tailback, number 8, around the left side, picks up about 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Managed to get the corner on that just sweep play. Looked like the Buckeyes had that one bottled up, but all of a sudden he was around the corner. And once again, out of bounds, which stops the clock, which is a break for the Buckeyes. But once again, as long as Carthage is moving 5 yards at a clip, Jeff, math doesn't work. You got to stop these guys because they're not going to stop themselves. I mean, they are an excellent, disciplined, executing team, and they've shown that for all 3 drives here that they've scored there on so far here in this game.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Number 2 breaks out into open field, hard to bring down, and he is finally brought down after he crosses midfield out to the 46-yard line, and that's going to be another Carthage first down.
And the defense have been on this field right now, Jeff, a lot of snaps. I mean, the Buckeyes probably have run, let's call it 15 to 16 snaps. It'll be interesting to see at halftime on the offensive side, which means the time of possession here in this game so far in the first half is going to be so unbelievably lopsided.
It's going to be totally swayed.
Yeah, that it's just not even funny. Carthage has taken the ball,
they'll have
the clock.
They'll have the ball at least 16 minutes.
Oh, yeah, of the 24,
maybe 17.
Easily. Yeah.
All right, from the shotgun, Horton. Handoff, number 2, hit instantly and thrown down after a gain of about 2. 2nd and 8.
He keeps his legs churning and keeps that forward body lean. And like I say, Jeff, he's a good back. You know, he's not the same breakaway Baylor committed back that we saw last week with Lindale. But they platoon in and out of there with number 2 and number 8. They got good speed. They take their time. They're going to milk every second off the clock they can. We're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds now. They're into Buckeye territory once again, 2nd down and 8 from the Buckeye 44, and it's going to be up to the Buckeyes to figure out how to get the ball back and scrap their way back into this game. Carthage isn't going to do them any favors.
All right, here's the snap, 2nd and 8. And a little reverse and shouldn't have worked at all, but he picks up a little bit. Buckeyes do a good job there of sniffing it out, come around and make a stop after a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 with 2:45 left to play in the half.
We're under 3 minutes now to play, Jeff, so this gets critical as the Buckeyes have to get a stop here, call a timeout, and just find a way to get a chance to stop them and score to make this just a 2-score lead. This is probably one of the most critical plays of the game, Jeff, because you can't score if you don't have the ball. Here's an opportunity for them to get the ball right here. Look for them to go to the air right here with Kyle Horton.
3rd and 5. And they dump one out, and a great defensive play there by number 17, Rowan Fluellen.
2 minutes and counting.
And that's going to bring up 4th and short. 4th and, we'll say 2.
Yeah, and let's see what Surratt does here. He may decide to punt this and try to pin the Buckeyes deep. The Buckeyes do not take a timeout.
Oh, no, I think he's going to try to convert this. He don't want to hand them a ball and let them start slinging it. They're going to try. I mean, they've been able to. 2 yards would be a joke for them tonight if
they put the fullback in, Jeff. So
yeah.
Look for number 2 right up the middle.
This could be this is a fullback handoff. He easily picks up the 2 yards he needs as he gets out to the 30-yard line. That's going to be 1st and 10 on the 30 with 1:24 left to play in the first half. Buckeyes down 21-0. This is deja vu all over again.
Yeah, unfortunately. And right now the clock becomes the Buckeyes' friend. It just needs to run because the Buckeyes can ill afford a score. Watch for Scott Surratt here to get this down under a minute and then take some shots into the end zone, which would be a backbreaker. The Buckeye defense, especially in the secondary, is going to have to play big time here because watch for a play fake and them to try to throw deep.
All right, under center. Quick pass out to the left side. Defended by Smith. Big gain there on the play, probably 8 yards.
Clock continues to run, which is good news for the Buckeyes. Unfortunately, that's a 9-yard pickup there. And Coach Surratt, with 38 seconds left, is probably going to try to go to the end zone here. The Buckeyes have got to defend the end zone here and not give up a touchdown late to end this half. It is just crucial that the Buckeyes make a stop here and do not let them score.
2nd and a long 2. Quarterback rolls back, got a man open, turns the corner, and they will score once again.
And that is a backbreaker for the Buckeyes, Jeff. As you saw that tight end come out, nobody home for the Buckeyes. We had a great vantage point up here. You can just see it coming. And Kyle Horton off that play action with 27 seconds left, not giving the Buckeyes much time, puts Carthage up. They've literally scored every time that they've had it in this possession.
Yeah,
in this half.
No punts in the game.
No,
for
Carthage at all. All they've done is methodically march down the field. This may be, Jeff, the most lopsided statistical half of football that we've seen in 20-plus years. And it started
Kick
at the
is
coin
up and
flip.
good.
Now a 4-score hole for the Buckeyes to try to climb out of. Not necessarily insurmountable, Jeff, but in their first game against Kilgore, this is how many points Carthage scored, 27. So right now, with 27 seconds left, we'll see if the Buckeyes can't figure out a way to put some points on the board to end this half. We'll recognize a few of our sponsors and come right back.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
And back to the action here, Jeff, as Carthage once again scores 28-0 with 27 seconds left here in the first half. The Buckeyes have to try to find a way to get some points here with 27 short seconds left. They've got plenty of timeouts, more timeouts probably than they have time for plays.
High pooch kick. Going to be fielded on about the 27-yard line. Good return down the right side. I think that may be Guidry on that side.
It's a great job by Cody Guidry, who actually puts us in striking distance with 22 seconds left as the Buckeyes need to go down the field. Down 28-0 to the defending state champs, Jeff, that look like a machine. I mean, they've just executed. Very few mistakes for their second game. They've executed on both sides of the ball, and the Buckeyes, every single mistake that they've made has just been capitalized on by Carthage. That's what great teams do, and the Buckeyes got to find a way maybe to get some points right here.
All right, got a fumble on the play, and Brandon does a great job of getting out of there, gets the ball off to Rowan, and what should have been a loss of 4 or 5 turns into a first down. Just a great effort there by Tennyson.
Timeout by the Buckeyes, now inside of Bulldog territory. 15 seconds left. That's probably time for 2 plays, Jeff. As we will, we will stay right here, and as the guru Mark Skinner will give us some statistics so far.
Yeah, like you say, Todd, it's going to be a real lopsided time of possession. And I tell you what you're seeing right here. We wondered if they'd be rusty or rested. They're definitely rested. That's for sure. But what you're seeing here is a quarterback that can throw the football. Both quarterbacks here, outstanding athletes. But the story is he's got all night to throw.
Yeah,
we're not getting enough pressure on him because we've got.
Yeah, the offensive line is controlling.
They're really doing a good job. They really are.
Yeah, and the defense for Carthage. 2 long drives by the Buckeyes. This could be a 28-14 game with the chance to go down only 1 score. But the Buckeyes unable to convert because their second down plays, wind up putting them in a hole. And so just the tiniest things when you're playing championship caliber football make all the difference. You can tell how well coached Carthage is because they've limited the opportunities for the Buckeyes. Here's one right now with 15 seconds. Again, Buckeyes got to find a way.
Yeah, they're going to try to put it in the end zone. Everybody's going heavy pressure, forced to throw it away. That'll stop the clock with 10 seconds left on it. So the Buckeyes maybe 2 more plays from scrimmage here if they get the first one off quick enough.
Yeah, and you got to have time. And right there, Jeff.
This will be a sideline route, obviously.
They're going 4 deep. They're playing cover 4 deep with 20 yards, safeties 20 yards deep in a row all the way across the field, playing their prevent defense. But with just 3 guys, they blow right through the offensive line and get pressure on Brandon Tennyson. That cannot happen, and you got to be able to give him time.
Look for the Buckeyes to hit the sideline here. Quarterback keeper, Brandon Tennyson, they're going to jump up and call timeout. They were hoping to have a gap on the pass rush there and get Tennyson upfield about 20 yards so they could strike at the end zone with this last play of the half. So they got 6 seconds left, down 28 points, and so they're going to air it out right here.
Yeah, they have to. They got no choice. Hopefully they can get a pass interference or something coming up. But the Buckeyes have been blanked here in the first half, and they've moved the ball. But you knew what Carthage was going to do coming in. They were going to control the clock behind that big offensive line. They're going to run the football, and that's really been the story. The trenches are being controlled by the guys in white jerseys and red pants right now, and their ability to just completely suck the life out of this game and keep this Buckeye offense on over here on the sideline has been the name of the game. And, that's been the formula in order to beat the Buckeyes in explosiveness for a long time. The Buckeyes want to be in a track meet. But it's been a long time since the Buckeyes have had 0 on the scoreboard at the end of the half, Jeff. And now, when the other team puts 28 up and really you haven't done much to stop them, you got to kind of rethink everything in terms of halftime.
Well, we saw going into halftime last week, we had similar thoughts as we went in 21 down. Buckeyes will go in and make adjustments and hopefully come out. It'll be a different half this second half. Tennyson airs one out down the sidelines. Mason Hurt goes up for it. Good defense by Carthage, and that time will expire off the clock with the Gilmer Buckeyes down 28 points, 28-0 here in Jeff Traylor Stadium. Carthage feeling good about the team they've put on the field tonight, and we're going to recognize a commercial, and then we'll be back and watch the band, and then we'll have some halftime statistics for you in just a little while.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
120 years ago, First National Bank of Gilmer opened its doors to meet the needs of its customers. Through the years, we added other names to our banking family. Now, we're proudly unified under a single name, First National Bank of East Texas, because together, we're better for you, your families, your businesses, and our communities. We're the same great bank with the same great people and services you can depend on. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better.
Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing the award-winning Gilmer High School Stars Drill Team, directed by Elaine and Lorenz Perry. Officers from left to right are Junior Emma Warden, Junior Lainey Drake, Junior Sarah Warden, Junior Anthony Wilson, and Senior Skylar Corp.
Mr. Stafford! Hi.
The star of the week is Diali Ortiz. And now the stars will perform a fun pond routine to Dink. Buckeye fans, on your feet. This is Stars Week. Buckeye baseball, on your feet. The most decorated military marching band in Texas. The pride of Upper Sheriff. The UIL. The Buckeye Band marches in the traditional American military style under the field command of Drum Major Jalen Wilkerson and features whirler Hannah Threadgill. The band will step off to Invictus March by K.L. King and Queen City March by Bowen.
The Gilmer High School The Gilmer High School Band is directed by Eric Bray, Church Wick, Sarah Thompson, and Jonathan Stafford. Percussion director is Pete Bond. The major sponsor is Michelle Fox. Thank you for your attention to all tonight's halftime performances, and go Buckeyes!
Winningham Chevrolet is proud to support the Gilmer Buckeyes. Don't miss out on the 15% savings on the 2020 Blazer, Equinox, and Trax. And remember, our service department is now open Saturday 8 to 12. Stop by and see Jay, Roger, and Lindsay at Winningham Chevrolet. The Med Shop Pharmacy in Gilmer's features a drive-through pharmacy for all your prescription and over-the-counter drug needs. Place refills using our free phone app RX2Go or use our convenient auto refill line 24/7 at 903-680-2626. Stop by and see our unique gift items for all occasions or visit us on the web at gilmermedshop.com. And don't forget, the Med Shop is your flu shot and vaccine headquarters for the fall and winter season. The Med Shop Pharmacy, your friendly hometown pharmacy.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
Hey, East Texas, Matt Darby here, and I serve as one of the pastors at New Beginnings Baptist Church in Gilmer and in Longview. Let me ask you a question. Are you looking for hope in your life right now? We believe that the answer is Jesus Christ, and every Sunday we fix our eyes on Him and we worship Jesus together. I want to invite you to one of our worship services at 8, 9:30, and 11 in Gilmer and in Longview. We'll see you there.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
And back to the action here, folks, at Jeff Traylor Stadium. It has been a one-sided affair tonight. Definitively on the scoreboard as the Carthage Bulldogs lead the Gilmer Buckeyes 28-0. Jeff, they won the toss. They took the ball. They marched the field. They scored. They stopped us in 3 and out. We punted to them. They marched the field and scored. They kicked off to us. We drove down inside their 20-yard line. They stopped us on 4 downs. They marched the field and scored. and then they did the exact same thing for a second time.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
They've scored every time they've touched it. You said it just a second ago. I think it's worth saying again. They've played flawless football for the most part.
Absolutely.
No turnovers.
Game plan. Perfect game plan.
No turnovers in the game. No one side or the other. So when we go through these stats, other than the time of possession, it's not going to be as lopsided as you think. But the problem is just they've scored and converted every time they've gotten it. We have had 2 real opportunities to score if you don't count the possession at the end of the half. Let's call it 2.5, and we've gotten no points out of it. So we've not stopped them. They're averaging 9.5 yards a play. We're averaging 5.5 yards a play. And at the end of the day, they're playing mistake-free football, and we're not executing, and they are. It's just that simple.
Yeah, it is. I'll go through a couple of interesting stats here. We've rushed 9 times for 16 yards, which is nearly unheard of. I'm even going to get that up close and read it again. Yeah, 9 rushes for 15 yards, and you're talking about, some of the pregame stats we were showing just to give you an idea of how physical they are up front and how good that 3 and sometimes 4-man rush that they're sending to the Buckeyes is very effective, holding the Buckeyes to 15 or 16 yards of rushing, while on the other side of the ball, they've rushed 19 times for 120 yards. Number 2 down there, the running back, he's running 9 yards a clip. If you were to look at his stats tonight, he's probably averaging 7.5 yards a carry. Easily. Passing yards.
Jeff, he's 5 of those yards down the field before anybody in black makes contact with him. And it's just...
Oh, yeah.
These
that big offensive line. That's exactly right.
They're telling the story that the trenches right now where games are won and lost is completely being controlled by the guys in white.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You control the offensive line, you control the football game, and they're doing a good job of that right now. But the Buckeyes are going to come out and make adjustments, be aggressive. Hopefully it'll be exactly what we saw last week. We have completed 8 of 15 for 115 yards passing. They have completed 11 of 12. Amazing. 177 yards. And the story there is basically time. The guys got all day back there. That offensive line doing a good job of holding up the Buckeyes, who's done a great job of penetration this year. That defensive line has been great and effective all year, but their offensive line just really executing very well tonight, giving that quarterback, who has a lot of poise and can really throw the football accurately, 11 of 12 passes.
He's been rushed 1 time, which is the one incompletion that he's thrown. Everything else, Kyle Horton has been able to literally sit back there and just choose his targets, take all the time he wants.
And the longer it takes for a play to develop, the harder it is for a defender to stay on a receiver.
Right.
You don't know where they're going. It's hard to keep up with them. You're watching the ball. You're watching the receiver. So given that much time, he's been able to pick us apart tonight. Total offensive plays, we've run 24. They've run 31. Total net yards, we have 131 net yards of offense. They have 297.
Almost tripling us.
You mentioned that we run 5.5 yards per carry. They've averaged 9.6 yards per carry. Penalties, not even a factor here. We've got 3 for 25. They got 3 for 15.
No
time of possession, that's the big one. We knew this, obviously, from watching the football game, that they would have a dominant time of possession, and they've done that, and that's part of their game plan. You talked about it in the very first in pregame. We had the ball 8 minutes and 3 seconds. They had it 15 minutes and 57 seconds. So they have taken their time methodically and with precision worked their way down the football field and scored every possession. And we have had some good yards. I mean, we've got some decent yardage for first half against a team like this. The problem is we haven't been able to capitalize and score and finish with the touchdown. So hopefully we've made some adjustments here in the locker room. They're going to come out. They'll hopefully come out and be a little apathetic. These guys will come out and with some fire in their belly like they did last week and the week prior and play a great second half. Anything can happen, obviously, but I can tell you Carthage never disappoints. This is a Carthage team you expect to see year in and year out. They are the defending state championships. They do have a 37-game winning streak? 35 game winning streak going, and that's not for
no reason.
It's not a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, Scott Surratt in his 14th season at head coach over there, 7 state championships. in just the last few years, and just an absolute amazing program over there. And they have executed extremely well tonight.
And
so
Jeff, that's really the name of the game. We have not stopped them, and they have stopped us in critical times.
Yeah.
And we've had our opportunities to. This could easily be a 28-14 game. We had the ball inside their 20 twice. The only difference is that our offense went from 1st and 10 to 2nd and more than 15.
Well, and we fumbled a little bit in some key times.
Right.
We've had some fumble problems that have cost us, throws the timing off of the play, and so unfortunately those happened on a critical down and on a critical yard line, and that has really made a difference here in it being 28 points and being 14, like you said.
It's like we said at the top of the show. This is not a team you can make mistake against because, number one, they capitalize on your mistakes, and number two, they don't give you any room to get back in. So at this point, it's simple. The Buckeyes are going to have to make their own breaks. Number one, you got to get the ball. How do you get back in this game? One score at a time. So you got to get the ball to start the second half, go score quickly just like last week. Secondly, you got to get the ball back and go score again to try to get some of that momentum. And then from here on in, it's a lot like we saw in the Carthage game last year, Jeff, where going into the fourth quarter, we began to onside kick and crawled our way back into it.
Yeah.
A lot can happen, as you say, but the difference is that this half is going to have to be owned and created by the Buckeyes for the Buckeyes, because Carthage is not going to help you. They're not going to put it on the ground. They're not going to fumble.
Well, they just don't make mistakes.
They don't make
They're just
mistakes.
well executed. You can tell that they're a very disciplined football team. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and it definitely shows as they make their way back out on the field. So we've seen the Buckeyes in the last few games come back with some stellar second half of play, and hopefully we're going to see that again. So all you folks out in Buckeye Nation, if you're watching this game, we need well wishes for the Buckeyes. This is where we come together as an army of Buckeyes, and we need you to send all your positive thoughts, all your energy through your television sets, your computer screens, your iPhones, whatever you're watching on tonight. Send those positive vibes right through there, and we will pass them right down here to the field on your behalf.
Well, the good news, Jeff, is that because of the pace that Carthage plays, it's only 28-0. And, you want to say it's only 28. Well, that's 4 scores against the defending state champions. But at the end of the day, 28 points for the Buckeyes in a half is not difficult if you have the ball, if you get stops, if you get turnovers. Those are the things that the Buckeyes got to focus on. And starting from the kick for the second half, we got to go score and go score quickly. That's the start that we need. That's the first order of business. And right now, with 24 minutes left in this game, nothing else matters.
Well,
we got to get the ball and go score.
And we got to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback. Horton has just sat back there and had a field day so far, just putting on a passing clinic. 11 of 12. Amazing.
Yeah.
And for some big yardage. So they have put up about 300 yards of offense in this game. Let's see what the Buckeyes can do as we start the second half of play. And so that kick is going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, let me tell you what. That is a heads-up play by number 12 there, Mason Hurt, who jumps out of bounds, and he jumps out of bounds just before he catches the ball, which gives the Buckeyes an extra 5 yards. And that is just a smart move by Mason Hurt, because he jumped out of bounds and caught it when he was out of bounds. So he eliminated the ability to turn it over. That gives the Buckeyes the ball 1st and 10, 60 yards away, 24 minutes and 4 scores, Jeff. Let's see what the Buckeyes can do here 1st and 10.
Well, we saw what they did last week. Let's see if they can come out and execute their game plan for the second half here. Tennyson complete to number 14. Dylan Fluellen, and he's going to fall down on that ball right quick. That'll be a gain of about 7 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Completion and positive yardage, that is a good first step, Jeff. 8 seconds into this second half, and the Buckeyes have got to establish a rhythm offensively, not something that they've really been able to do all night.
All right, from the shotgun, fakes the handoff, finds a gap around the left side, and Tennyson's forced out of bounds. Again, heavy pressure from that defense. He gets to the 50, and that's enough for a first down. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, moves the chains and keeps the clock from running, and that's what the Buckeyes got to have, Jeff. Just they don't have time to be real methodical here. This is hurry up for the rest of the game. 4 scores is a very, very steep hill to climb for the Buckeyes. They got to do it 1 score at a time.
All right, Smith comes back to the backfield, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's the snap, and we move, and that's going to cost us 5. That'll be 1st and 15 from the Buckeye 45 instead of 1st and 10 from the 50.
And those are the things, Jeff, that in games like this, you just really can't do. You can't make it more challenging for yourself. Those guys in white jerseys are doing a good enough job making it challenging for you. 1st down and 15 as the Buckeyes had cracked Carthage, the Carthage into the field and go backwards 5. Here comes a blitz.
All right, here's the snap. They're coming. Good job on the offensive line there as Tennyson fires a bullet intended for number 12, Mason Hurt. That's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, he had Dylan Llewellyn in the middle of the field wide open, and BC just didn't see him because he was trying to get a hot route out to Mason Hurt with a blitz. And once again, Jeff, here's where the Buckeye drives have fallen apart. 2nd down and long, 2nd and 15. It's imperative here that the Buckeyes get positive
Yeah, they're
yardage.
coming. They're showing like they're bringing blitz, and number 3, Smith, and he drops the ball, but because that was behind,
yeah, that's just a mental
going
mistake.
backward, and he picks it up and runs with it, but
Yeah.
we're going to lose some more yards on it. That's
Yeah.
going to bring up 3rd and 21.
Devion didn't realize that was a backwards pass, so he just thought, okay, I dropped the pass and
And
just
then he
let it
realized.
sit and realized it, and that cost us 5 more yards. And again, self-inflicted wounds, 3rd down and almost 20 now. Obviously 4-down territory for the Buckeyes. They've got to figure out a way to pick this up.
They're going to have to go deep, heavy pressure, and we're going to take a sack and lose another 10 yards. And again, just the power and the size of those defensive linemen and offensive linemen. I'm trying to think of a time where I have seen bigger linemen on one 4A football team. I mean, these guys are just huge.
Yeah, they don't have the big defensive end they had last year. That was just such a dominant force. But that drive, after a 1st down, went backwards almost 30 yards. And now the Buckeyes, that's one possession that they had an opportunity to score. They used 2 minutes out of the first half, and they punt it, and it barely gets back. Let's see if this bounces.
It's going to take a good roll. It's going to come back down to the 35-yard line. So Guidry gets off one of those good rugby kicks he does, and that's going to move the ball back down. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. So here comes that very methodical Carthage offense.
Remember this, Jeff, right here. 9:46 left, a 3-and-out that Carthage gets for the Buckeyes to start. Here's where the Buckeyes have to treat this as a last stand because, Jeff, it pretty much is. This defense has got to find a way to stop Carthage and get off the field right here, right now.
Quarterback goes under center, looking to pass, fires a long one, and it's intercepted, dropped. I could have sworn he had that one.
Yeah, Marche Spraglin had that one in his grasp and rolled over and could not hang on to it. And that brings up 2nd and 10 as the Buckeyes were able to get pressure. And you see what happens when they actually get pressure is that was probably the second ball that came out of Kyle Horton's hands that was not well thrown. And it was because he was getting heat. When he's got time, he's very accurate. But the Buckeyes got to find a way to get pressure. Only good news on that play, Jeff, is that it stops the clock.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Horton from the shotgun. Quick pass out to number 13. Finding room down the sideline, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards on that carry.
As that's a good block out here on the corner. Marche Spraglin and number 10, Luke Watson, just can't get out there in time to keep them from getting about 4 yards. But once again, Jeff, the good news, he ran out of bounds. So 3rd down and 5. Here's an opportunity for the Buckeyes to figure out a way to get off the field. And the referees are blowing this one.
We got an equipment timeout, but the
referee.
line judge lost a shoot. All right, they're going to break the little huddle. They've got number 2, the tailback, in. And so watch for the handoff here for the running back for Carthage. They're going to ignore him and go to the air heavy. They're going to set up a screen to number 2. He's got some room, finds a gap, hits the sideline to the left side. We have flags on the play. He's going to take it to the house almost, but we do have a flag on the play. It's probably going to be holding.
Yeah, Luke Watson
against
got tackled on that play.
the
And there's
Bulldogs.
3 flags that are down as a hold. As that one's going to come back and bring up 3rd down and 15 now from the 30-yard line. And once again, a great opportunity for the Buckeyes to get off the field. As Luke read that play very well, looked like he was going to be able to come in and make the stop, and he got tackled. That was pretty obvious. You know, when there's more than one flag in one spot, it's probably an obvious call.
Yeah, a big break there for the Buckeyes. And that is going to be a 10-yard penalty marked off against Carthage. So instead of a 70-yard gain, that's going to be a 10-yard loss. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 15.
We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take that.
I'll take that all night.
Yeah, and watch up at the top of the screen, Jeff, number 4, the sophomore, man-to-man coverage right there with number 2, Jaden Griffin. And let's see if the Buckeyes can, number 1, keep up with number 2 out of the backfield. They will target him out of the backfield.
All right, here's the snap. Got a little pressure on the quarterback, and he just shuffle passes it out to number 2, who gets smashed as he catches the ball, but that is good for 5 yards. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and they're looking at 4th and 10.
Well, and this is crucial right here, Jeff, as they can force their first punt of the night from Carthage as they stop them. Unfortunately, the Buckeyes have burned about 9. They can't be going for it here, can they, Jeff?
Gutsy call, 4th and 10. I guess when you're up 28 points and executing well, you're thinking, why not, right? He's going to drop back.
Delay a game, Jeff. This is delay a game. That's a delay a game.
Delay a game. That's going to back them up another 5. It's going to be 4th and 15. Buckeye fans getting into the game down here tonight.
I can't believe Surratt's not punting the football here. It's amazing.
Well, surely he will now at 4th and 15 with a ball on the 30.
Let's see if he drops back and punts this. Yeah, he's going to drop back and quick kick to this.
Not bad for a quick kick. It takes a great Carthage bounce, and that ball's going to fall dead around the 26-yard line or so. So here comes that Buckeye offense once again with 7:52 left to play in the 3rd quarter. They're down 28, and they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27.
Well, Jeff, here is a critical, once again, time in the game. The Buckeyes get a stop. They get help from Carthage, who's got 3 penalties on that drive that puts them down into 4th and 15. They punt the ball, give the ball back to the Buckeyes, who still have a big goose egg on their side of the scoreboard. Once again now, this is the opportunity. The Buckeyes have to find a way to put the ball in the end zone.
All right, Tennyson pulls up, heavy pressure, and he's going to have to just kind of throw it away. You know, it's a tale of 2 stories here tonight. You've got the Bulldog quarterback who's got, Horton, who's got all night to throw the football, and Tennyson, who's just got heavy pressure and having to release it a good second or 2 before he wants to.
Yeah, the trenches are simple. Their 5 guys are blocking our 4, and their 4 are unblocked by our 5. That's where you're going to win a ball game.
It's a big, powerful football team. We're going long. We got an opportunity, and he does it. Dylan Fluellen goes up high. Big gain there by Dylan Fluellen.
That's a big play. The Buckeyes got to find a way to capitalize and go on the attack here, and it starts with just figuring out a way to get some points, the first points on the board of the night.
All right, Tennyson again drops back. Got Dylan again. Is there a face mask going on there? I guess not. Line judge is right there. And that's going to move the chains again. And that's a good strategy. Go to your athletes. Let them do the work. Put the ball in the air and make him go up and get it. And Dylan Fluellen, twice in a row, has done just that. 5-man rush. Handoff to
that's Ward.
Ward.
He takes a lot of nothing and turns it into a 2-yard gain because, Jeff, you see, as soon as they read run.
Yeah, the penetration is just
you got
amazing.
5 guys in the backfield, and those backside linebackers are absolutely just coming. And the Buckeye offensive line has got their hands absolutely full. The Buckeyes are going to have to do this one in the air. I know they want to stay balanced, but it's 28-0 halfway through the third quarter. They got to score.
Got some time on that one, and the ball's in the air. Dangerous pass there. Tipped by number 12, Mason Hurt. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Ball's on the 30.
4-down territory again, Jeff. We've seen 3 Buckeye drives stall right here about this side of the field. And BT is going to have to figure out a way to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. And Jeff, pressure. Here it comes. You're going to have to deal with it. Look at the top, number 5, the outside linebacker, or number 9. There's 6 guys in the box, and here they come.
Tennyson sets up a screen. It's complete, and that's going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. I think we lost a yard on that one as they just saw that coming.
Yeah, they just ate that up, and now we're in, once again, 4-down territory. This is where 3 drives have stalled, and our inability to really execute on 2nd and 3rd down as Carthage just gets pressure. And so, hey, look for big number 14 right here. This one's simple.
Dylan seems to be working, so let's try that one more time if we can. Here's the snap. Looking, going long to the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown.
And he was held, he was tackled, and he scored anyway. So that's Dylan's corner. He owns that corner. And the Buckeyes
3 touchdowns in that corner last week.
Yeah, he's finally gotten himself on the scoreboard here with 5:55 in the third quarter. And right now, Jeff, whatever momentum is here with the Buckeyes is going to have to camp out on this side of the field for the rest of the game for the Buckeyes to get themselves back in it. 28-6, extra point left to come. But, Jeff, half the third quarter, gone.
Yeah, 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. Buckeyes on the board for the first time tonight, and that's going to be an offsides penalty, I believe. I don't think they were drawn.
Yeah, no, they came across and actually made contact. So that's offsides against Carthage.
Offsides against Carthage.
Buckeyes will move it up a little bit and kick it again.
Half the distance to the goal enforcement. BT in for the extra point hold. Hernandez into kick. And the kick is up and good.
5:55 left to play in the third quarter. Can the Buckeyes do it? Stay with us to find out. We'll be right back after these messages.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
And we're back to the action here as the Buckeyes at 5:55 left, finally, in their second drive of the second half, managed to draw away from a goose egg, Jeff. 28-7, they finally draw blood here with the Carthage Bulldogs, thanks to number 14, Dylan Fluellen, who really was the heart and soul of that whole drive. It was just, look, we're going to throw it to number 14. Let's see if you can stop him. The answer on that drive was no. We have no answer. Number 7, the corner down here, literally tried to tackle Dylan, and he still broke away from him and made the catch. And now with the Buckeyes on to kick here, let's see if they go onside here or what exactly they try to do.
They're going to go onside kick, and look at this. Got it.
Here we come, Jeff. So number 17, Rolf Llewellyn.
What a good kick.
Gets the onside kick. It's perfectly executed.
That is a perfect.
It bounces up into the air.
Kick.
And here come the Buckeyes. There is the first one that they get back. But Jeff, now the Buckeyes have to go execute again.
Well, let's give some kudos first to Dominique Chavez. I mean, what a great onside kick.
Yeah, it bounces.
Took a perfect bounce at the 10-yard line. And
Yeah.
you could see that one coming a mile away.
Yeah, and watch number 14, Jeff, and see what they decide to do here. If they go back out, they're going to double cover. They're going to double cover Dylan Llewellyn.
Okay, time across the middle, intended to Marche, and that ball is going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, Marche looked like he pulled up on that route a little bit. And it's 2nd down and 10. They're going to double cover Dylan Llewellyn and basically say right now, you're not going to beat me with that guy. And that's going to open up the rest of the field, and somebody else is going to have to make a play here for the Buckeyes. Notice only 5 guys in the box right now, Jeff. They're in a completely pass defense.
Okay, they're going to do a draw up the middle. It hadn't been there much tonight. I'm kind of surprised to see a draw there, but I think what they're thinking is, all right, we've been beaten in the air, so now we're going to try to catch you sleeping. You got to keep them honest.
Yeah, 5 guys in the box, Jeff. It's just counting guys in the box, but the problem is we didn't get any of them blocked. If you only got 3 down linemen and 2 linebackers because there's 6 defensive backs, then at the end of the day, you got to make the run work. And if you can't run against a 3-man front, we got troubles.
3rd and 7. Launches one to the sideline, and he was just clobbered as he let go of that ball. He was just rushed to get rid of it and couldn't put the touch he needed on it. That's going to bring up 4th and 7, ball on the 45. And you hate to get an onside kick and a chance to, kind of swing the pendulum your direction and then give it up by not being able to, turn it over on downs.
Yeah, well, Jeff, if you can't, you got a 3-man rush and we can't get that blocked up. Up there, number 51 up on the
They're
top of the
sending
screen.
5 this time. Got room. It left it open. They sent 5 guys in the box, and that leaves number 2, Jaden Griffin, to get the first down. Ball's going to be on the 34-yard line, and they risked it that time, and Tennyson saw it coming, made a great call. Launching one for the end zone, and did he get it?
Touchdown, Buckeyes!
Unbelievable.
How about that? Here they come again, Jeff.
That was Rowan. Is that Rowan?
No, that's number 6. That's Marche Spraglin.
Spraglin.
And he goes up and gets that one. And the Buckeyes.
Reminiscent of last week.
Yeah, here
the
they
Buckeyes,
come.
Here they come.
We'll see if they decide to go for 2 here or if they go ahead and kick the extra point. They're going to kick the extra point, Jeff, very smartly. It's 28-13 now.
There won't be any going for any 2s.
Yeah, let's just
in this football game.
Yeah, let's just keep right now trying to execute and claw back in this football game because we're still 2 scores down.
Kick is up.
And
it's good.
4:48. Just like that, Jeff.
Left to play, and the Buckeyes are fighting their way back into this game. 4:48 left to play. Buckeyes 14, Carthage 28. Stick around. Extra, extra. Read all about tonight's game in Thursday's Gilmer Mirror, complete with pictures, coaches' comments, and a look at next week's opponent. The Gilmer Mirror has been serving the citizens of Upshur County since 1877. Reading the news online is fine, but there is nothing like physically picking up your hometown paper, turning the pages, and catching up on everything going on in our area. If you're not subscribing to the Gilmer Mirror, you're probably missing out. It's one of my favorite publications, and I know you'll love it too. The Gilmer Mirror, www.gilmermirror.com.
And we're back here to the action where with 4:48 left to play in the 3rd quarter, the Buckeyes have scored 14 unanswered points. They scored, had an onside kick, went down and scored again. And let's see what the Buckeyes do on special teams here, Jeff. We just discussed this. I'm not sure you got a whole lot left to lose. All 11 men inside 25 yards. You may want to try to kick this one deep and then try to go get it, Jeff, and kick it over their head on the ground. And maybe you could come up with something down the field here. Look at all 11 guys literally inside the 25-yard line.
All right, the way he kicks this ball and the way he bounces it, it is really it's almost like a football, a basketball tip-off Watch it take a bounce. Look at this. It's a tip-off. They got it. And that's the way the ball bounces. It just happened to land in their lap. That was a great kick. That young man can kick an onside kick like nobody's business.
Yeah, that was perfect. The Buckeyes had a shot there to get that one. But now they give Carthage the ball back at their own 42, Jeff. 4:48 remaining. Whatever tricks you got on the defensive side, you better pull them all out right now.
Now, you know Scott Surratt's sitting over there going, oh, we saw this movie
last week. We saw the film last week, yeah.
We don't want this, so he's going to tell his guys, go do what you do.
Yeah, and here comes a big dose of that big offensive line in number 2 here, as they're just going to load it up, Jeff, and say, try to stop me.
Motion, handoff. Number 2, good tackle. Great job, Jet Jones. Stops them after a half-yard gain.
Yeah, and they're going to force
the Buckeyes got the momentum on their side right now.
Yeah, they force them to go to the air. That's no gain. That's a good cutback lane, but Jet Jones just with a shoestring tackle. Watch them milk clock, Jeff. They will not panic. They'll switch guys in and out. They'll milk as much time off the clock as they can.
Okay, I believe in good vibes. Listen, keep sending those good vibes
through
your devices. Keep them coming our way because it's working. Here's the snap. Drops back. Throw an interception, will you? Almost.
Almost picked off. That's going to stop the clock. And Jeff, big number 56, just let Kai Norton know that he is there. And this is 3rd and 10. And this is where the Army needs to make some noise right here, Jeff.
The crowd is going wild. They love it.
Stops the clock and an incomplete pass, and you better watch out for number 11 right here. We have not been able to account for him off of play action. Let's see if they go back to him right here.
All right, from the shotgun, Horton looking at 3rd and 10. Pulls up, fires one. And a great job by the receiver to get good 7 yards on that carry. It's going to bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, stops the clock on 4th down, Jeff, with 3:52 left. 4th down and 4. And here's an opportunity for the Buckeyes, Jeff. If the Buckeyes can stop Carthage right here, look where they get the ball. I mean, it is a completely different ball game right here. If the Buckeyes can find a way to stop Carthage, watch play action and watch number 11 coming out of the tight end side. This is a huge play right here.
I'm going to have to retire from this job. I can't. My heart can't handle it. I'm too old for this. 4th and 4. We need some good vibes from the Army of Buckeyes. Got some pressure.
Almost intercepted. And the Buckeyes have it back, Jeff. The Buckeyes get the ball back right here in Carthage territory. 3:48. They've scored 14 points in the 3rd quarter already, and they are 49 yards away from making this a 1-score game going into the 4th quarter.
This is the power of momentum. We said this last week. We said it the week before.
Wait. It's 1st down Buckeyes. Yeah.
1st down Buckeyes. Ball's on the Carthage 49. And deja vu all over again. 2 receivers left and right. Tennyson dropping back, launches one down the field. Can he get it? Not quite.
Yeah, Dylan Fluellen.
That's a great strategy. I told you this a while ago during the kickoff. Why not do it? They're stopping everything up close. You're 14 points down. You got 3:41 left in the 3rd. Go see if your athletes can out-jump their athletes.
Well,
that's a good strategy.
Dylan had great position on that pass play, Jeff. He just didn't leave his feet to go up and try to high point the ball. And he thought he was going to hit that one in stride.
I say keep doing it. Yeah, keep pouring it on. Go deep. Go deep. Spread them out and go deep. Here's the snap. Rolling to his left. Got a man open. It's Rowan Fluellen. He's going to get the 1st down.
Let's see if there's a flag there. Gotten out of bounds. Moves the chain. The sophomore Rowan Fluellen moves the chains for the Bucks, and they keep the momentum going.
A lot of energy in the stadium. A lot of energy.
This feels familiar, doesn't it?
It does, and it's stressful. 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. Buckeyes marching down the field. 1st and 10 from the 35 of the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. Drops back, forced out of the pocket. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Almost bust that one as they try to have a quarterback draw plan. He maybe he didn't pick up any yards, but you see, Jeff, that when the defensive line that outweighs the offensive line probably by 40, 50 pounds a man, when they just put their ears back and come through, there's not much that the Buckeyes can do to stop them.
right,
let's see if BT can find himself some time.
Dylan at the bottom of your screen. Here's the snap. Draws back, fires one across the middle. It's in the air. And that's going to fall incomplete. That pass intended for number 17, Rowan Fluellen. 3rd and 10 from the 35. You got to convert right here.
Well, 4 down territory, Jeff.
For sure.
2:57 left to play in the third quarter. Still a full quarter left to play. If the Buckeyes can get points here, Jeff, this is a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. Anything literally can happen.
Nobody would have believed it.
Yeah.
Nobody would have believed it. Again, Dylan, bottom of your screen.
Here
Here's
comes
the
the
snap.
blitz.
Fumble. Scrambles to his right. Telling him to go. Launches one downfield. Interference? No interference. Both eligible receivers. Buckeye crowd wants a flag. They're not going to get it. 4th and 10.
Yeah,
this is why we come watch football on Friday nights right here, folks.
This is such a tough no call, Jeff. As BT buys time with his feet, and look at the pressure that they're able to bring with just 5 guys. And BT's going to have to get in the clear, and somebody's got to get open. They're not going to let it be Dylan Fluellen in this play.
Draws back. Go route down the sideline. And he got it. And he dropped it. And I thought he had it.
There's a penalty, and that's going to be against Carthage.
Penalty against Carthage. Mason Hurt. Got some extracurricular going on over there with Mason. Not sure what the flag, who it's going to be on.
Well, it's
Mason's clapping, after the play, so it could be unsportsmanlike on both sides.
Well,
we're not sure what that call is going to be.
Either way, Jeff, it's not going to affect a first down, because if that's against Carthage, it's after the play. So after the play means that they're going to get the ball back, and then the penalty would be enforced. So no matter what, they're going to get the ball. Let's see what the call is here. They're over there talking to Coach Surratt. Somebody's coming over here to talk to Coach Metzel. Mace went up to try to catch that one, and the guy got in his face.
Yeah, there's something going on over there. I mean, Mason's one of these. He's not one of these guys that talks a lot of anything. He doesn't talk a lot of trash down there.
Incomplete pass after the play. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. And it's going to be Carthage's ball. So yeah, no matter what happened, it was going to be Carthage's ball. But I don't know if they said both sides had unsportsmanlike conduct. But they're putting the ball in the wrong spot. This is going to be 1st and 10 for Carthage after a 15-yard penalty is marked off.
So evidently, and we've got some guys jumping up after the play and talking a little trash down there to Mason Hurt. And they're going to be penalized 15 yards. And that's big. That's huge, because now they're pinned deeper than they've been at the start of any series they've had tonight. They're on the 10-yard line.
Bad news
so
is
if the defense can step up and do what they did last time and get a hold, we're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position. We need 3 and out right here.
Yeah, or a turnover. I mean, if the turnover bug was ever going to hit, this is the time.
Well, we missed 2 possible interceptions on the last series, so let's see if we can get one now. We need some positive energy coming our way from that Buckeye Nation. Handoff up the middle, Buckeyes. And he's
Right
good for
to
about
number 2.
6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, he got about, let's call that 7, as he just comes downhill behind that big offensive line. And once again, Jeff, with 2:25 left, this is where Carthage won't fold. They'll go back and feed that machine and move the chains and move the sticks. And right now they're taking their time to do that. It's going to be up to the Buckeyes to stop the Bulldogs, because don't look for the Bulldogs to stop themselves.
Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass. Played well.
Almost dropped that ball, Jeff.
Almost dropped that ball. Good job there by number 21 up on the line, who does a good job of stalling that play. given some time for his brothers to come up and help him. That was Kiki Johnson.
Yeah, they moved the sticks. And right now, Jeff, the Buckeyes got to make their own break. As we're ticking down now towards this fourth quarter, the Buckeyes had that opportunity with a stop to go make this a one-score game and couldn't convert. And right now, every single second in this game counts.
Here's the snap. Handoff. He's got room to run. Cuts upfield, gets the first down. Takes a heck of a shot. He does a good job of holding on to the football.
Yeah, they're well coached. I mean, they're not going to fumble, but Jeff, you notice he ran 7 yards before any black jersey even touched him, and that's just controlling the trenches. The Carthage Bulldogs right now own the offensive line, and they are just pounding the rock as they've moved it from their own 10 all the way out to their own 36, Jeff, and eating 2.5 minutes in the process. It is going to be the Buckeyes that got to stop Carthage, because Carthage isn't going to, don't look for them to make a mistake.
1:10 left to play in the third. Gilmer down 14. Quick pitch. Number 8. He's going to get stopped for nothing.
Yeah, that's the first time, Jeff, that we've been able to stop them for no gain. They'll get to run one more play here in this third quarter, and it's important right now that go into the fourth quarter with a big third down and long to go.
A lot of emotion on the field right now. You noticing that?
Yeah.
A lot of pressure. These guys are under pressure. A lot of trash talking on the field. And what does that tell you? What have we learned over the last 20 years when we watch what happens when teams get frustrated? What do? They try to force things and they make mistakes. So let's see if these guys can keep their composure or not. I think the Buckeyes have gotten in their head. Fakes the handoff. Turns around to throw an interception. Down the field, got a man open, dropped it.
Unbelievable.
And that is a lucky break for the Buckeyes.
Roflellen was beat. He was beat by about 5 yards as that play action, and once again, he had 1,006 to throw that football, Jeff. He could have sat back there and counted 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That man ran literally 60 yards down the field before Kyle Horton let it go.
Well, Horton's showing the arm he's got as he launches a 50-yard bomb.
Yeah. Well, 15 seconds left, incomplete pass. It brings up third down and 10, and the Buckeyes have got to find a way to get off the field right here.
Crowd is into it. They want the Buckeyes to stop right here and force a punt. This is a big third down at the end of the third quarter. They hand off to Mr. Reliable, and he just reaches out there, can't get it. He's going to be about 2 yards short. But
that's going to be the end of the quarter, Jeff.
This is going to be 4-down territory for him. It's going to be 4th and 3.
Yeah, end of the quarter. We're going to go into the fourth quarter, Jeff, trailing by 14 points with a big 4th down and 3. And, Jeff, look, Scott's Rask going to punt this football. Let me just tell you that with 14
I'm not
points
sure.
left.
I don't know. Let's take bets here. You say punt?
I say he punts the football.
All right, Eric, what do you say? Is he going to punt? Is he going to run? He's going for it. I say he's going for it.
If he does, he gets what he deserves. Let's recognize a few of our sponsors and come back.
Yeah, the sponsors I want to recognize have parked some beautiful trucks in the end of either end zone here. We got Stanley Ford down here with the beautiful white truck at this end down here. And Todd, who do we have down in the north end zone?
That would be the Winningham Chevrolet and their winning ways. We appreciate those sponsors coming out and supporting our booster club and supporting these Buckeyes.
All of our sponsors. Man, these guys have been great or what
They
this
have
year?
been fantastic. And,
unbelievable. And all the funds, we want you to understand, all the funds go straight to the kids.
That's right.
Every bit of the funds that these businesses step up and donate go directly to the kids. We don't take anything out of here. We have to buy our own pencils up here. I mean, we get nothing.
Which we do gladly. And Jeff, here's 4th down and let's call it 4 yards to go. 28-14 your score going into the fourth quarter. And huge play here. Let's see if Carthage decides to punt the football, which I think they will do.
Yeah, they're lining up like they're going to do like a little quick kick. They're going to hand it off up the middle.
And we got a flag down.
Illegal procedure.
Yeah, and that's going to back them up.
Now they'll punt.
Yeah, I think they'll be forced to punt now.
We're all right.
And I wish they hadn't had illegal procedure there because I think we had that.
The ball back. That's right.
I think we had that. I didn't even recognize the running back they had in there that time. Who did they hand that to?
That's number 2, the same guy. So 4th down here to start this fourth quarter. And this is, I think, going to be a punt as Coach Surratt's going to have to give the ball back to the Buckeyes.
Yeah, 4th and 8. He'll quick kick this one.
You can't take anything for granted, though, here, Jeff.
Look at this. He's going to pass the ball. Unbelievable.
Incomplete. Unbelievable. Why he would do that, Jeff, is beyond
I have
me.
no idea. I mean, I know Scott is I realize Scott plays to win. I get it. And I get it. He's got faith in his team. But he's got a whole quarter to play, and he's down 14.
And he just
all
gave the Buckeyes ball.
All the momentum is on the Buckeyes side, and he gave it to him on the 38-yard line.
That baffles me.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love the call. I'm happy about the call. I just am a little confused by that.
5 wide here.
Definitely not playing safe for sure. We're sending 5 receivers out. We're going for it, folks. Good protection. Firing across the middle, intercepted.
Yeah, and there's no way that BT should have let that one go.
I tell you what, I haven't liked anything across the middle tonight. Nothing's been there all night tonight. We've been great on the go routes where we had to go up for it. Anything across the middle, they've just played extremely well tonight.
Yeah, they faked an all-out blitz, dropped everybody back, and BT tried to thread the needle into number 14, and that was one that he basically should have pulled down and just taken what he had over on the left side. That's a bad read, and the turnover now, the first turnover of the night for the Buckeyes, could not have come at a worse time. At the very least, Jeff, you think Carthage can eat 4 or 5 minutes worth of clock here now.
Well, the way the Buckeye defense has been playing this second half, maybe not. I mean, they're going to try to keep it on the ground as they stack 2 backs and an I formation.
Comes number 2.
This could be a handoff to the fullback like they did earlier in this formation. It's going to be a quick pitch out to the right side. He's running hard downfield on the right side. Probably picked up about 4 yards on that carry, depending on the spot. 2nd and 6.
And just another opportunity, Jeff, that the Buckeyes had and couldn't create their own break. You know, you got first down at the 38. You don't have to get a score right now. You can take a 4 or 5 yard gain and not, throw it into double coverage.
Okay, Todd, look at this. We scored 14 and we held them scoreless in the 3rd quarter. If we can do that again here, we got a tie ball game.
We got a tie ball game. That's right.
So let's see if the Buckeyes can step up. Handoff to number 2. He fights forward for another 3 yards.
Once again, 3rd down, money down here for the Buckeyes as they're going to have to sell out on the run, but watch for the play action. And number 11 dragging across the field, the big tight end. Plenty of options here. 1 minute now gone in the 4th quarter as the Buckeyes once again, I think they'll look back, Jeff, and say, we had them. We had the opportunity at the 38-yard line to start the 4th quarter, and that turnover just is a killer.
3rd and a long 2 with 10:38 left to play in the game. Handoff. He's got room, and he will get the first down out across the 40.
Yeah, once again, Jeff, he runs from 8 yards deep in the backfield. He runs 14 yards before he's touched. That's just the dominant offensive line there for Carthage, and it's exactly what we said. If they can just go eat 4 or 5 minutes worth of clock, they make a 14-point, deficit look like a huge mountain left to climb. Where the Buckeyes had the opportunity, 1st and 10, to start a quarter from their own 30 or from the Carthage 38-yard line. That turnover is killer.
All right, man in motion. Going downfield, tons of room. Launches one downfield, got him beat. And luckily it is overthrown. Otherwise, that would have been 6.
Yeah, Kiki Johnson was just beat badly on that double move. The only good news there, Jeff, is it stops the clock, and it puts you in 2nd down and long. So, as good as Coach Surratt is, I'm a little bit baffled that he would give the Buckeyes with that momentum a first down from their 38-yard line with a quarter left to play, and he dodged a bullet. I mean, he faked an all-out blitz, dropped everybody back in coverage. BT took the bait and threw the pick. And right now it's going to be up to the Buckeye defense to come and create their own break here. Here
2nd
comes
and
number
10
2.
from the 40. Handoff, number 2. Just running downhill, 9-yard gain. How many times have I said that tonight?
Yeah, and that's just, once again, you got to stop it. I mean, if Carthage drives the lengths of the field here, Jeff, and scores, it's not so much about the score as it's about the clock. I mean, we're in the fourth quarter now. Literally the first fourth of the fourth quarter is done, and Carthage has got 3rd down and 1 from basically midfield. Now that's 4-down territory for them. And you got to have some kind of a negative play. It's up to the Buckeyes to stop the Bulldogs.
All right, quarterback's going under center. 3rd and 1, handoff. Number 2, upfield, running hard, holding the football all the way to the 35-yard line. I'll tell you what, this guy, he may not be the flashiest running back that we've seen all year so far, but he is one of the most effective.
Well, you know what? There's 5 reasons for that.
Yeah, center,
the center,
two
the
guards,
and
two
2 tackles. That's exactly right. And they are.
But he does run hard. I mean, the guy holds the football.
Yeah.
He keeps his legs moving. He's a good running back.
He's just a good, solid running back that is very well coached. He's got great vision, and he knows there's going to be a hole there. And once again, just our biggest fear with all the momentum the Buckeyes came out with in the second half is that Carthage does get the ball back and does this, which is 9 yards of carry straight down the field. Once again, the Buckeyes have got to stop.
Buckeyes need a turnover right here. Heavy pressure. Throws to the sideline. He just throws that one away. Luckily, we got some good pressure on him, and as a result, he has to throw that away. It brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, stops the clock, but again, how smart is Kyle Horton? He runs away from pressure. That's maybe the 3rd time all night he's really gotten any pressure.
You know, we've seen some pretty good quarterbacks this year, all year long, and this guy probably, other than our own, the best we've seen.
Yeah, I would say he's the best we've seen, but the best we've seen when he's got the center, those 2 guards, and those 2 tackles.
Yeah, but you can't take away the fact that he can throw the football.
No, he can throw the football, but when we've gotten pressure on him, he has not thrown it very well. It's just good luck getting pressure on him with that kind of protection.
Right, they got an I formation. They're going to do a quick pitch to the left side, throws a good stiff arm, and picks up some yardage as he runs out of bounds around the 32. And
Picks
that's
up
going to
4
pick
yards.
up about 4 on the carry.
Brings up 3rd down and 6, Jeff.
And he runs out of bounds, which stops the clock,
and that is to our benefit. But I can tell you, Jeff, right now, if the Buckeyes are going to have a chance to get back in this with 8:26 left to play in this ball game, you got to have a stop right here and right now, because this is going to be 4-down territory. Luckily, they ran out of bounds on that play. If they don't run out of bounds and either pick up a 1st down or get into 4th and short territory, there's another minute that's going to go off this clock. Right now, get ready for a big dose of number 2 coming right at you. They call a timeout. We should take a timeout too as well, Jeff, here, and recognize a few of our sponsors.
They're starting to argue among themselves out here on the field, and I like that.
Yeah,
that's
not
a
a
good
bad
thing.
thing.
It's a good thing because we're really getting in their head. We're making them nervous. It's also very loud in the stadium. The Buckeye crowd is into it. The band's playing, and these guys are starting to get frustrated. Let's see what happens when we come back.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
And we're back to the action here. 3rd down and 6 from the Buckeye 31. 8:26 left to play in this game. The Buckeyes trail 28-14. They've managed to cut this lead in half just in the 3rd quarter. But Carthage has gotten the ball, and they are eating drives and eating clock. And it all comes down to this series, and can the Buckeyes get a stop right here, right now? Jeff, watch out for number 2. He's been averaging about, let's call it 8 yards a carry, and he is lined up next to Kyle Horton right now. Let's see if they go to the wide side of the field.
Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to pass. They're going to drop back, fires one, got a man open, and they get the 1st down. That's a big play.
Yeah, wide open against the zone, and nobody picks up number 13. And that's just one the Buckeye defense wishes they had back, because that's just a coverage issue. And it gives Carthage the ball inside the red zone now, 1st and 10. And now, Jeff, the Buckeyes not only have to worry about getting the ball back, they got to worry about stopping the Carthage Bulldogs from scoring. A 2-score game with 8:20 left is not insurmountable. A 3-score game is borderline undoable. And so right now, these Buckeyes have got to find a way to get a turnover right now, because they haven't been able to stop Carthage from
Well,
moving
we're
the
due a
chains.
turnover in this game for sure. Hand off to the fullback and does a great job scrambling upfield. And again, just eating precious time off the clock as he crosses over the 15-yard line to the 40. And then he picks up 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Honestly, Jeff, the Carthage Bulldogs have maybe run 12 plays this whole game. Now I'm talking about which plays are they running. They just run them so well at 8 and 9 yards a carry. A fullback dive goes for 6 yards. You notice on the 4th down, they ran the same fullback dive play, picked up a 1st down. When you got the kind of offensive execution on the offensive line that they've got, they're just hard to beat. Just really, really hard to beat.
Call me crazy. I still believe in miracles. We just need 14 points. Fumble the ball, will you? Down to the 10-yard line. That's going to be just shy of the 1st down, 3rd and 1.
Imperative here as we click down under 8 minutes that the Buckeye defense not only make a stop, Jeff. They can't give up a score. They've got to also protect the clock. It's everything stacked against them right here.
Handoff up the middle, room to run, and he will score.
And that's a backbreaker, Jeff, as Carthage stops the Buckeyes deep in their own territory, takes 6 minutes off the clock, and goes down and pounds the rock and scores. And so from here on out, Jeff, the Buckeyes are going to have to score quickly and get 3 successive onside kicks.
And we saw the Buckeyes score 3 times in 7 minutes last week. How many minutes do we have in the game?
7:10.
7:10. They left 10 seconds too long on the clock. Kick is up. It's good. Folks, we'll be right back. 7:10. Buckeyes 14. Bulldogs 35. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
And back to the action here as Carthage gets the interception and marches literally 75 yards down the field, eating 6 minutes and showing why they are the defending state champions with a 35-game regular season winning streak. Basically, Jeff, because they don't beat themselves and they don't make mistakes. And they didn't on that drive as the Buckeyes had 2 opportunities on 3rd down and long to get off the field. Were unable to stop Carthage, and what did they run? Running play right up the middle that gets 12, 13, 14 yards. Up front, they are about as good as I've seen in not just at any level.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but this is the second game that they played. I can't imagine these guys getting much better than what they played.
That's a great offensive line they've got down there. They have been the factor in this game for sure.
Yeah, they've owned the trenches on both sides, and that's been the difference here.
Okay, high pooch kick. It's going to be fair catch on the 31, fumbled and recovered. Buckeyes are going to come on the field, and it's 1st and 10 from the 31. It seems like an insurmountable task. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter, and they are down by 21. But last week we scored 7 and 7, or 21 in 7 minutes.
Right now, Jeff, it's right back to where you were at the beginning of the second half. You got to score right now, and that's the first order of business. And they're going to bring pressure because they know it's going to be passing from here on out. So here comes the heat on BT.
Launching one downfield, intercepted.
Yeah, Dylan got lost a little bit on that one.
Yeah, and that's the backbreaker right there. That is the nail, because they will eat up the clock on this next drive. You know they'll keep it on the ground the entire time, and that'll be it. I tell you what, gallant effort by the Buckeyes fighting their way back into this game here in the second half. And but you got to take your hat off to Carthage. I mean, you're looking at a state championship. Yeah. Listen, 16 games to the state championship. They look like they've played 15. They really do. I got to hand it to them. I mean, the Buckeyes, we're looking at this and we're like, wow, we're just not playing well tonight. No, we're playing a team that looks like they are prepared to go to the state championship. Not to mention that everybody on the line down there are literally 290-pound line average, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're big, they're fast, and they execute, Jeff. It's just that simple. They execute well. And I think what the Buckeyes learned more than anything tonight is that if you're going to play at this level, and there's a pitch and catch on single coverage against Kiki Johnson there.
Yeah, that's
to number 4. That's the favorite target. They just take single coverage and just go straight up the field.
Yeah, Braden is in the box with us now. He's got bad memories of that guy. He used to play against him in the Little League. And not as big a factor as I expected him to be in tonight's game. He's had a few catches, but
yeah, they haven't needed him, Jeff, because when you can run the football like Carthage has run the football, it doesn't take a whole lot of anything except keep you honest, and that's all that Kai Horton did on that play. Is they're down to 5 seconds now, and they're going to have to snap this one very quickly. 3, 2, 1. They get it off.
Handoff, number 8 up the middle.
Yep.
And there's a scrum in the middle of the field, and he's going to get his forward progress is probably about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Maybe
we've
2nd
got a
and
player
6.
down with cramps for Carthage. And Jeff, just as we were talking about, this is where you learn what the number 1 team in the state looks like, and the Buckeyes have had their opportunities tonight. It just comes down to, do you take advantage of those opportunities when another team is not going to give you an ability to get back in the game? If you go back and look at the entire game, the Buckeyes had 2 drives inside knocking on the door of the red zone where we couldn't convert on 4th down. We had the ball at the 38 where we have the turnover. There's 3 scores. Look at the delta. So the delta right there with 3 scores is 35-14. There's your 3 scores.
Yeah.
So a team that's at championship caliber does not make mistakes. They force you to beat them. They limit their mistakes. The Buckeyes make mistakes, and Carthage takes advantage of them. And that's just what you're going to be up against. It's just that
a little
simple.
bit of a bobble there, but he picks it up nicely and goes downfield. Somehow or another catches just a great catch. And another flag and trash talking. And I tell you, it's one thing, Carthage has got a great football team. There's no question. But these guys are a lot mouthier than other Scott Surratt teams that I remember. I mean, this is like the 3rd or 4th time they get up and just, trash talk.
Yeah, they're 1-0.
Second flag in the same corner.
Yeah, they're 1-0. They haven't played a lot of football. They come out here really chomping at the bit. They've, obviously looking forward to a chance to show how good they are. And heard a lot of talk, obviously, about, hey, can you hang with Gilmer? Can you hang with Gilmer? They've come out and made a statement in terms of what they've been able to do. It's no fluke. That's the number 1 team in the state right there that you're looking at. Now, are they beatable? Yes, but you have to beat them. They're not going to go beat themselves. And that's what they've proven tonight, which is the difference with Lindale. Once we came out, clawed our way back in, got the onside kick, got the momentum, what did Carthage do? They just did what they do. They didn't panic. They didn't run away from their game plan. They stayed aggressive, went for it on 4th down. The coach showed they got confidence in them. And,
I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting game next week. Pleasant Grove versus Carthage. This is going to be a good game. I think if I had money on the game, it'd be on Carthage.
Yeah, I think so too.
Handoff around the right side, number 8, no place to go, but he wants to stay in bounds because he wants to keep that clock running.
Good move on his part to stay in bounds.
And again, more mouthing.
So under 5 minutes left to play. Gilmer still has all 3 of their timeouts, but this is going to bring a 2nd down and 12. But once again, Jeff, 2 turnovers so far here in the 4th quarter that you just can't make turnovers against Carthage. They're going to make you pay.
Yeah, this is a totally different ball game. Down here on the 38-yard line, if we don't throw the interception when we're down by 2 scores, if we can get that score and we're within 7.
With the full quarter left to play.
We do an onside kick, we get it maybe, and score again, and now we got a tie ball game, but instead momentum shifted. It came back to Carthage side of the ball, and they're going to take a timeout. We'll do the same. We'll be right back after these messages.
100 120 years ago, First National Bank of Gilmer opened its doors to meet the needs of its customers. Through the years, we added other names to our banking family. Now, we're proudly unified under a single name, First National Bank of East Texas, because together, we're better for you, your families, your businesses, and our communities. We're the same great bank with the same great people and services you can depend on. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better.
And back to the action with 4:23 left to play in the game. The Buckeyes up against it here. 2nd down and 12 inside the red zone. The Carthage Bulldogs come to the line of scrimmage with a 21-point lead and looking for more, if not to just drain the clock. And once we said, Jeff, it's not going to be the Bulldogs that beat the Bulldogs. You're going to have to beat them. And so far, the Buckeyes tonight have just come up short.
Handoff up the middle. He broke one to the left side and inside the 5-yard line. Luke Watson on the tackle for the Buckeyes.
So 2nd down and 12.
Braylon Ward down on the field. Maybe a cramp. The way he's laying there. It looks like a cramp. So we'll take a quick timeout, be right back.
Winningham Chevrolet is proud to support the Gilmer Buckeyes. Don't miss out on the 15% savings on the 2020 Blazer, Equinox, and Trax. And remember, our service department is now open Saturday 8 to 12. Stop by and see Jay, Roger, and Lindsay at Winningham Chevrolet.
Back to the action here as a 1st down inside the 5-yard line after that run by number 42 for the Bulldogs. As they're knocking on the door again with a 35-14 lead. The Buckeyes come out and win the 3rd quarter, Jeff, 14-0. But after that 3rd quarter and had a chance with 1st and 10 from the Carthage 38-yard line. And the next play from scrimmage is an interception, and that just changed everything from a momentum standpoint. Carthage doing what Carthage does. They just come out and execute. They run the ball well. They own the line of scrimmage. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Once again, Jeff, no turnovers by Carthage. The onside kick is pretty much the only turnover that the Buckeyes created for themselves. But otherwise, the 2 turnovers for the Buckeyes is the delta in this game.
Handoff up the middle. They'll score once again.
So that's going to stretch the lead. It's just good cutback running. As the Buckeyes are going to understand when they watch the film, Jeff, that this isn't going to be as lopsided a game as what the scoreboard would indicate. But here's the difference. Execution. Especially up front and especially controlling the defensive line. These guys, Jeff, for anybody with this offensive line and the ability to just kind of run the football at will, I don't, in that region, I think these guys are going to march, and I mean absolutely march to a state championship. And the Buckeyes are going to have to, for the next 10 weeks, find a way to try to match that and get there. But for tonight, it's been Bulldogs, 42-14 with 3 minutes left. Let's recognize a few of our sponsors and come back.
The Med Shop Pharmacy in Gilmer's features a drive-through pharmacy for all your prescription and over-the-counter drug needs. Place refills using our free phone app RX2Go or use our convenient auto refill line 24/7 at 903-680-2626. Stop by and see our unique gift items for all occasions or visit us on the web at gilmermedshop.com. And don't forget, the Med Shop is your flu shot and vaccine headquarters for the fall and winter season. The Med Shop Pharmacy, your friendly hometown pharmacy.
And back to the action here as Carthage gets set to kick off. Gilmer down 42-14 with 3:33 left to play. This one's pretty much all over except in the books. The Buckeyes had an opportunity, but coming out literally from the coin flip, the Buckeyes lost the coin flip, and all Carthage did was come out and execute. They scored every time they touched it in the first half. The Buckeyes characteristically came storming back in the 3rd quarter and won the 3rd quarter 14-0. after an onside kick, had an opportunity to start the fourth quarter down 14, 1st and 10 from the Carthage 38, and they threw the first of 2 successive interceptions from Brandon Tennyson. And now with 3:33 left, the Buckeyes are just going to pull out all the stops and try to make this one a respectable score, as they're just going to try to use this for practice time against a really good defense. But Jeff, hey, if you see these Carthage Bulldogs again, you got a lot to learn from in this game, number one. And number two, that'll be a good problem because that'll be in the state championship. And I can tell you, I think one of these teams is going to be there. I don't know if both of them will be, but one of them I think is the absolute favorite. What a throw and catch
Yeah,
there.
nice throw and catch there by the Buckeyes. They're going to try to march down the field. They've got 3:26 obviously left in the game. This is not a time to give it up. You're way down, but this is a chance to practice your execution, practice your your short game drill, and so look for the Buckeyes to march down the field here and try to get it in. There's a great draw. First time tonight that he's had anything to run with, and he got about 10 on that one. They're going to move the chains.
Yeah, this is just about hang on for Carthage, as the
They're
Buckeyes
not going to move the chains. About a half a yard short.
half a yard short. Yep. Clock running.
Tennyson tonight, Carthage, that front group, heavy pressure on him and shut him down with the run. Normally when we have pressure, he's able to beat him with his legs. Launches one down the middle, and it's going to be intercepted one more time. That'll be the third one. They're turning down the right sideline, and finally brought down at the Gilmer 40, Gilmer 39, so the defense coming back on the field. And at this point, 2:22 in the game, you just want to get it over with. Scott will probably try to keep this on the ground and then, go into victory formation and not run up the score, I'm sure.
Well, that's the third interception of the second half for BT, who will learn from this one. And I mean, that's just basically
we're just airing it out. It's a Hail Mary,
that's
is
not
what it
really
is. That was
a catch.
That wouldn't have been a normal play.
Turnover.
So they're just you got nothing to lose. Go for it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's the earlier one that really is the learning moment, where you got first down and you probably had 6 or 7 yards around the end, and that will definitely be something that Coach Nyes and Coach Stump Godfrey will point out to him as this one gets stopped for no gain. But Jeff, I mean, long story short, 1-0, we got the answer to our question. There wasn't much rust on that machine. There was a lot of miles left on it. What impressed me about Carthage is really three things. Number one, they control the line of scrimmage. They're absolutely, completely in control of the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Secondly, they don't have a lot of completely D1 outstanding athletes, but as a team, they execute what they do very, very well, and they don't make mistakes, and they're not going to beat themselves. And then thirdly, anybody that's going to beat the Carthage Bulldogs has got to beat the Carthage Bulldogs. And if that's us that gets an opportunity, as you see once again a fullback dive go for 9 yards, they just do what they do like most great teams, and it's up to you to go stop them. And they're going to keep doing that until you do stop them. And I think for Gilmer tonight, especially in the first half, you create once again a 28-point hole for yourself to dig out of. As you point out, valiant effort and a lot of opportunity. But what's the difference when you get to a championship caliber football team? Detail. It's the little things. Gilmer can point back to about 6 or 7 little things that they didn't do. And Carthage, you can point to about 9 things that they absolutely did and did well. And that's where the 9 yards per carry comes from. You look at that block, you run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards down the field before you even get a defender that shows up to touch you. Hey, I'd like to send you run behind that offensive line and get 9 yards before anybody touches you. Good running back, but definitely not the caliber of the guy we saw last week in Lindale, who was getting hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and still went 70.
Yeah. We got 30 seconds left in the game. I just want to say one more time how much I appreciate our sponsors. Our title sponsor, obviously, Godarzi & Young, for stepping up in every way possible. We want to thank all of our sponsors that are with us week in and week out, and these 2 beautiful trucks you see on both ends of the end zone, provided by Winningham Chevrolet and Stanley Ford. We want to thank those guys for being a great sponsor and that's going to be the last play of the game. And that'll be in the books, folks. The final score is going to be 42-14. And if anybody was wondering if the Carthage Bulldogs are still good, the answer is yes. So we've got a little bit of work to do. Got district play. We got a bye next week, and then we got district play following that. And so Buckeyes are going to be fighting for district championship. Obviously, most probably, it'll come down to the last game between the Gilmer Buckeyes and the Pleasant Grove Hawks. So, folks, we appreciate you listening to the broadcast tonight. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Gilmer ISD, Rick Albritton, Superintendent, Brian Bowman, Principal of the high school. Thank you for your support tonight, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks here in Buckeye Stadium as the Gilmer Buckeyes take on the Spring Hill Panthers.